All right, and I believe we are live. What's up, everybody? I believe we will see. We'll see how it goes.
We're gonna figure that out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 116 of the Iron Lords podcast. I am your host, at least for a little while, Lord Sovereign, while the boss, LordCognito, makes his way back from Guardian Con, so he'll be joining us shortly. In addition to Lord Addict, who seems to be MIA right now, but you know that's an addict thing. So, although King says he has been getting here on time lately, so I'm not gonna.
Oh, yo, I was about to say, don't be doing my man like that.
Doing him dirty. He's been on time.
Yeah, get him out of the bushes. You trying to throw my man in the bushes?
His attendance has been sparkling, unlike my own, right?
Like, man, I'm like, yo, man, my boy actually been on his job. I ain't even gonna lie. Yo, Addict, I got you, baby.
For sure. For me, I have to apologize for my absence. You know, something could not be avoided, but I'm glad to be back in the realm, chilling. And of course, LordCognito, the first thing he says, like, I need you to hold me down while I get back from Guardian. I'm like, damn you.
Nah. You know what I like about that? He actually flying in like Superman.
No, I know he's chilling right now. He's home chilling. He's just listening. He's like, let me see what they do.
Nah, yo, listen. I want to let y'all guys know they gave us the option last week of me and Addict doing the show alone.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna be honest. We need to make that a Patreon tier. We need to.
God,
that needs to happen.
That is never gonna. If
that's
you
train wreck, I want to see happen.
Listen. If you ever want the podcast to definitely never show up again, I'm gonna tell you right now. Do not let me and that dude loose. Like this is me and that dude. Me and the dude. That's me and the dude sitting in the hot tub talking about helicopters is above. We don't know what's going on. We got to get out of here. So, yo, I'm telling you, like, me and that dude, we kind of crazy. Y'all don't want that. Nah.
Yeah, no, I want to see it at least once, though.
I would like
that should be our new $5,000 Patreon tier.
You want the podcast wiped off the podcast planet. That's what you want. You want no more IOP. That's what you want.
All right, so as I said, we got the boss on his way. We have the young wolf on his way. So let's talk to our special guest. No offense now though, but not that special.
I was about to say who?
Family.
Exactly. I was about to say who the hell is this special guest?
A full-fledged member of the round table.
I said, man,
listen. Oh boy, this is family. Lord Pete, aka Snaldo, the boss of ILP's amazing stream team, and of course the Lord of Banhammers Great and Small.
Oh, pause.
What's going on?
Thanks for letting me join in. I heard you guys are going to,
you heard we needed help. Yes,
you guys need to back up. I am the emergency shoot, so to speak.
Yes. No, you're not. Don't give yourself that much credit.
Don't give yourself that much credit.
Yo, when they need help, they call me. Like, no, stop that. No. Listen. You a bullet in the chamber. I'm not gonna say you ain't a bullet in the chamber. You definitely a bullet in the chamber. I don't know if you're a magnum bullet, but pause. I mean, you're saying.
What's up, man? What's been going on?
Not much, man. Been busy with doing a bunch of our first look videos. We got a couple more in the background that I'm editing while we're doing some stuff, and then I've been doing Division 2 pretty hard with my raid team. Okay. We finally got the boss down on Friday. Man, that last boss, if you take your time, we were in there for 16, 17 minutes just doing that last boss, and it was I never felt that excitement.
Snaldo, why y'all be trying to call that joint's raids?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
I mean, I'm just gotta go at you because
of this conversation. Because why are they not raids? What makes them different?
They're not a raid. Like they're like little instances that they stretch out. They just like take regular enemies and let's give them extra shields. Like
the thing is
that true?
There's a lot. No, it's not, because
there's a lot of mechanics.
There's a lot of mechanics and things you need to do. A lot of coordination. I mean, I have a bunch of videos up on my YouTube page of our kills, and you know what? I'm telling you, that stuff. if you go in there and you don't have a clue what's going on, like most people did the first week, like I did the first week, there is no way you're going to do anything. But back in Division 1, they did that. When they said they had raids, when they were just the incursions,
right,
that didn't count. Those were just extra dungeons.
Yeah,
these are raids.
Listen, I'm not really going to go at the game like that because I actually like the game. What I was saying is like I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Of course.
And coming from where, you know, we play World of Warcraft with his real raids, like, cause I laugh at Destiny raids. When dudes be like, yo, yeah, you know, we out here doing this raid. You and your little 6-man team, shut up. Like, that ain't really no raid. What you're doing is doing a high mechanic instance. That's what you're doing, like a super nightfall. Right. Basically what it is with a boss tier is it going through and you get loot. When we talking about raids, we're talking about 30 dudes that are mages, that's buffing paws, right. the warriors, and you know, you understand, like the level of raids is like, that's a raid when there's 100 people going in to tackle this one boss that you can't get it done unless you got 70, 80 dudes.
Yeah. Yeah,
right. You're talking to me. You're talking to a person that's a classic raider from Warcraft. I used to be part of an 80-person group, you know, fighting the dragons and the world bosses and having to fight Horde and have to fight other alliance guilds to take a kill. I mean, I've been there for those hardcore raids, and I've been here for these new types of raids. And I will tell you that this kill, I have not felt, you know, that pleasure and enjoyment as a kill since back in Black Temple when we downed Illidan. That's how much enjoyment I got because it was that difficult, because the group of people I'm working with, they did as much hard work as I did, and we were in there probably 3-4 nights a week for 2 to 3 hours trying to dig down bosses, get everybody gear and everything to make everything easier, because you have gear sets that'll buff your groups and things like that. So they have those dynamics in there that, you know, that are super helpful. They're not necessary, but they are super helpful for, you know, the average or above average game players that are playing, because the normal people out there, like, that aren't going to know those mechanics, there's no way they're going to do anything.
Yeah, I understand. I was just, you know, like, for a lot of people that don't know that Division 2 have their form of a raid there. Everybody has their own take on what they would see or perceive a raid to be. And then, you know, we also have limitations with these systems. These systems don't allow us to do a World of Warcraft type of situation. You know, we would love that
Xcloud, that Xcloud and Stadia, man. Like that. That's one.
Why do you keep talking Stadia, man?
No, I'm just like, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying the fact that all of this stuff is in the cloud, you're gonna be able to, and I don't know how well it's gonna work, but you will be seeing like 1,000 people raise. Like, no,
Sovereign, I really don't think so. And this is
that's
the reason,
goal anyway, right? That's
the reason why I don't really ever see us moving to that area, that type of area, because the pure horsepower on a PC is completely different. Now, if you telling us that these guys is going to offload some form of workstation from our main computing, you know, unit, whatever the PlayStation 5 and whatever the Xbox Scarlet will become, right? If we're offloading, I think that's when we go into problems. So I really think everything has to be done from that main station. So that's why I think the CPU is more important than the graphical processor, because I believe the graphical processor in the X is more than capable. I just thought the CPU was definitely not up to standards. That Jaguar stuff was definitely not up to standards.
Yeah, just milking those cores and trying to make them a little faster. I mean, again, it's like it's a patch, right? It's not what you really want, right? And you need those cores to be much faster to be able to handle that CPU intensive stuff. So, I mean, like, obviously Scarlet is going to take us to that level, hopefully.
Oh, okay. I just noticed, and I don't really look at the chat, but I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna look at the chat. I'm gonna let you know.
No colors in the chat.
Unless colors pop up in the chat, me, I'm finna look at the chat. Okay,
you're looking at Dizzy.
But no. Oh, I ain't paying Dizzy no mind. Dizzy know how to get my attention. Dizzy the only one that I give a $2 super chat. King, shut up and give your knees to Sovereign. That's what he'll say.
It's coming. It's coming.
But somebody posted that they wanted to, you know, hang out with me on Destiny. Listen, let me tell you something. When I get in the morning, I get in probably like around 5 o'clock. I'm on Destiny. All right. And when 1 o'clock in the afternoon comes, I'm still on Destiny. And then when 3 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around, I'm still on Destiny. So if you're in my friends list, just add me, get up with me, and I'm on Destiny. So I'm running raids, I'm running Nightfalls, I'm running strikes, I'm running with Young Chris, I'm running with Hot Monkeys, I'm running with Mason, I'm running with everybody. If you're on, we're on, and then we're in the parties. Now don't get it twisted. That king that you see here, the PG king, is not available.
Just
all right?
be aware. Just be aware.
If you want to get into a chat, please do not be easily offended, because you're just gonna leave and be mad like he's not who he is on the TV. No, I'm definitely not. So get in there, have a good time. See, Bono 100%. We are out of control in that room. Trust me. That's why we can't have no me and Addict just no.
You should make that a special episode on Patreon. You should have it a Patreon only episode.
That's the After Dark episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
After Dark.
Lords at night. Night Lords.
So with that, let's give our man his proper official introduction. We got the Incredible Hulk of the ILP. Ooh,
Sorry, listen, when Cog does
Slacker.
it, I know the cues.
The king of all statues.
You want to ooh after that? Ooh.
After everyone was
okay. Well, go for it. I don't know how you doing it.
King of all statues.
Ooh.
The king of all combat talk.
Ooh, we gotta talk about that.
For sure, we gotta talk. And of course, the creator of the Fraud Alert movement, my man, Lord King David OTW. What's going on, brother?
Yo, Johnny Bones Jones is out here taking up the most dangerous fighters that you could probably take out. And what did you think of it?
I felt he played it a little safe, but he needed to, because Thiago Santos is a dude who is super dangerous, dangerous. At any point in time, he could drop you with either his legs or his hands. And Santos, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised that he fought a strategic fight. He was in the pocket all the time. He was countering John. He was going after John, but at the same time, he wasn't wilding out, throwing punches and kicks like I thought he would.
Yo, that leg kick. I know right now, John whole leg got ice upon the whole. I thought he was gonna break his leg. I thought he was gonna break his leg.
His inner thigh got to look like a strawberry right now. Like he was rocking. He was. I gotta give it to Thiago Santos. I get what makes Bones difficult. Bones is a dude that he can fight you at range 0, and no matter how he's very long limbed. You would think that smothering him works, but John could kick you with a sabbat kick to the head at range 0. So it's still tough, and he's constantly throwing his hands in your face, trying to kind of deter whatever you're doing. And he's just. You don't often talk about how great his defense is. John's defense is off the freaking charts, man. It really is. Range 0, he doesn't even need to use his length. And when he does, it's a walk in the park. So he stood there with Thiago. He caught some stuff. He got hit with some stuff. And I give it was a good fight. I think I would have liked to have seen John try to take him down, because I think the split decision, you have a judge that wasn't feeling John's way of fighting, could have gone the other way. He could have lost the title. So, I wish he had been a little more aggressive, but I think the fight was good for both of them. I think Thiago Santos, he upped his value with that fight. So it was a good main event.
Yo, I see it already.
I'll let you talk about your girl. Let me talk about before we get to the fight.
First, man. Let's go.
Before we get to the moment, let's talk about these ladies.
Boy, and I can't say girls. These women. These women. These are some strong women, boy. That girl, boy.
I gotta give it to man, the lioness, man. Amanda Nunes is a freaking beast, man. It's one thing about Holly Holm that I never liked about the way that she fights. Her fight style is very. Like when she jabs, she doesn't necessarily jab with purpose. She just jabs as a feeler. Everything is a feeler.
Throws it out there.
So what happens is when you get into that rhythm of throwing stuff out just as a feeler, that's something that could be timed. And that's exactly what she did. She timed those feeler jabs that are nothing jabs. and she caught her with the same sabot kick that Holly Holm caught Ronda Rousey, where she caught her flush in the mouth.
Listen, and this is what I'm gonna say with that, right? Watching the fight, and Holly Holmes doesn't punch through the target. So like when you're trying to punch through, her style is better for Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey really couldn't fight as well as y'all thought she could fight. She really couldn't fight. She
on her feet, she's a fraud.
Right, but on that ground, she get that arm and knock your power out. That take that arm out and it's gone. So, and that's all she trains to do: get that arm bar, make them submit, pop it out the socket. Right now, when she's on her feet, her hand game is garbage. Holly Holmes' hand game and her foot game is decent. The reason why Amanda Nunes was able to time her and walk through her because she punches with purpose. Every shot that she was throwing at her, she was trying to knock her out cold. Every shot. So when I saw it, I was like, oh man, it's gonna come in. I can honestly tell that she's setting up for the kick to the head. And
boy. And then the thing is, the way she pounces, as soon as she got her a little bit off her squabble, that was all it took. And she pounced, and that was it. And the thing is, at first, I thought the ref stopped it fast. But then when she tried to stand up and she couldn't, and she was just falling backwards, I said, okay, that was a good stop.
Yeah, he's in the ring. He can see the eyes rolling in the back.
The eyes rolling, and that was that. And that was that. So again, I don't know. Again, Holly Holm, she trains with Bones' team. She's in that gym. Like, the thing is, again, like you said, she doesn't punch through the target. Her style is very sort of elusive and throwing out a lot of feeler jabs and whatnot, looking for the big shot. But again, when you have that sort of rhythm when you fight, it's very timeable.
That comes from her kickboxing background, though.
Exactly.
Like that 12 round, that 9 round crap. That's where that comes from. It's when you are brought up in MMA from the ground up, you're taught. Remember you just said the pouncing, right? The man that's pouncing.
Yep.
That comes from you engaged in this activity. You wasn't transplanted from kickboxing or boxing that you have to, range time and work the clock and work movement, set up a jab. No, in MMA, it's all about the bang, bang boogie. Real quick. So if you got that strike and you can get low, you can take them to the ground. You want to get in and get out with as least damage to yourself as possible. And talking about least damage as possible, your boy, Ben Askren. boy.
Yeah. Yo, man, listen. After Ben Askren's questionable submission of Robbie Lawler, we saw some holes. Like, Ben Askren had always been the dude that's like, look, if he gets you on the ground, it's over. No matter what the situation, no matter what the case, it's a wrap. And that proved true. Like, Ben, he's a beast on the ground. But when it comes to the stand-up game, there's some holes there. And Robbie Lawler exposed that.
There's holes in his stomach.
Yeah, man.
Game, Mr. Sloppy Toppy. That gut, baby. That gut here. I don't care what nobody say. You cannot come in there with the sloppy six-pack. You can't do that, man.
Yeah, he always looks like he's like Archie from Jughead. Sorry, he looks like
Jughead. Boy.
But he went in, dude. Masvidal and him were going at it. This was one of those real grudge matches, and Masvidal just came in. He took his chance on a flying knee, and he knows like Askren is a wrestler.
But he was practicing in that.
Yeah, but his instinct is to duck, and he ducked right into a knee, right into the temple. The dude was out. Masvidal got jerked like 3 seconds. Like, it really is a 2-second knockout. He was out the moment he got hit. It was a wrap. It's just that the ref could not get to him in time to call him out. So he got the 5 seconds.
Yeah, this is what happens, right? He knew he was going for the shoot. That's all he has. So if he can give it the double leg takedown and he want to grind it out, like he said, you want to put his head into my crotch and grind it out and do all. Listen, he knew at the end of the night, he said it was always in his back pocket that knee was available at any time. When he goes to shoot, your head is down. The reason why your head is down is because you can't punch a guy in the back of the head, right? That's an automatic flagrant, right? So your guy is pretty much cool unless you can snuff him from the side or the left side, right?
Right.
Not your instincts is not to throw left or right if somebody's coming at you. Your instincts is to back up and to punch down. So what he trained his mind to do was when he ducks in, throw the knee.
Yep.
His face is like a wild uppercut.
It is. It
and
is.
it's more
Full-fledged
terrible.
uppercut. And he caught it flush. I mean, again, with that, you don't know if it's going to hit, right? Because you jump up. It's one of those things that you can never tell exactly where it's going to hit. And it caught him right on the temple.
Boy.
It was like,
you saw what his eye looked like right after?
And then he bounced his head off the canvas a few more times with 2 punches. That was it was totally unnecessary. But again, you don't know, so you keep attacking. But man, dude, I mean, I know he's gonna want to run that one back.
No, he don't.
But I don't know.
No, he don't. He don't want to run that one back. When you wake up in the ambulance and you say, "Yeah, well, I'm ready," you don't want to run that back.
You can't let Masvidal walk around with that one, man.
I like him though. I like
Masvidal's a beast, and he's gotten much better. He's continued to get better. Masvidal's always been a beast, man.
It's his. This is me being fraudulent, guys. I don't know crap about MMA, right? I just know big name dudes. Cog, what's good?
What's going on?
What's good, brother?
What's going on? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we get you. I just know big name dudes, right? So when I catch a new dude coming in, I looked at his backstory. I do the backstory check, and then I see his come up. I like his mannerisms, and then I like what he said after the fight. After the fight, he said, "Yo, listen, man. Be honest with you, I wanted to beat the hell out of him for 14 minutes."
Oh, we right at the right part.
Yeah,
right?
we at the right part, bro.
Yeah,
I know you were having some drinks while you were enjoying.
Oh, I'm lit. Yo, shout out to Meds in the chat. Cuban Jesus. What's going on?
so now you see, I like the fact that he plays to the crowd. He told him, he said, "Listen, I'm about these checks. I'm trying to save as much money as possible. I'm trying to get another fight as soon as possible because I took absolutely zero damage," which is a fact. You went in there, you gave him that flying knee to the head, blew his brains out, pause. You lay down on the mat, you came down, gave him the double, and they had to count him out with the fastest knockout. Dana White, I'm not going to lie, at that moment, he had a mangasm.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, because boy, he can't stand Ben on a level of you want to talk about somebody buying somebody to set somebody up so they can die? Like, he actively went out, acquired this big mouth idiot that he hated, that hangs out with another dude that he hates. Put those two dudes in fights so they can die actively. And when this happened, Dana White never took the podium with such a demeanor, such a smile, such a gloat. Like, I got this over you for the rest of your life. You're the fastest knockout.
I've never seen him so happy in the ring. That is so, he's supposed to be objective and just come, yeah, good job, whatever. You can see it in his face.
Yo, see, there it is, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. See, all right, shout out to Dizzy. Dizzy with a $2 super chat. King Osav knees that Ben Askren got. Yeah, yeah. Yo, Dizzy, your knees in the box too. Your knees in the box.
Yo, so Cog, what did you think about the other?
Yo, Cog, you doubled in.
I'm back in. I'm doubled in. Yeah, it's bugging. You got to drop the other joint out. Yeah, it's bugging right now. I might drop back in. Something going on with the account.
That's what's happening earlier.
Yeah, it's bugging out. But I mean, I'm real quick. Yeah, that joint was crazy. That fight was crazy, man. I mean, I couldn't even envision anything like that. Like that. Like if you'd have told me, these guys match up 10 times, and that's what happened.
Yeah, nah.
Like we was blowing. Shout out to Cactus. I was in there with him. Shout out to Clowns. I was up in there, Man of Arms and stuff, and Mylan Games. We was in the joint. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, look, Masvidal gonna come out, but Ben gonna get a hold of him. You know what I'm saying? And then when it went down, and like you ever seen like when rigor mortis get a hold of a body? Like rigor mortis
did afterwards when he dropped it.
Yeah, I gotta talk about that because I ain't gonna blow it up because I know shout out to Fonz, shout out to Mez, they in here. I'm supposed to do they fight coach. I'm gonna get deep with it because Fonz is very upset right now.
He is over the gloating.
Hit me I'm professional, Carl. I'm professional, and I said, look. I Meds is the other way. Like Meds is like, yeah,
that's what I'm about. I'm about that part.
For me, like I'm from that joint, King. We know like when dudes get stretched, and these are them grudge matches. You know what I'm saying? Like them, like it all bets is off. If your mouth was loose prior,
yeah,
all bets is off. You know what I'm saying? And to his credit, like the ref's supposed to get in there and get him out of there.
Nah,
for him to do
it
all
was
that.
too fast, man. I want you to
I know.
really
No, I know.
It went just like this. They said round one. He had his hands behind his back. He said, "Let's go." Boom, boom.
They let him walk around the ring after the fact instead of holding him to a corner. So they let him walk around, gloat, talk to people.
Oh, he was having big fun.
You know what it is, though? That's the level of hate people have for you.
Exactly. It's true.
When you getting your boots smoked, pause, and you was talking all that mess, and dudes really don't like you that tough, they allow the extra punch to get to your head.
You get the Khabib head stomp. That's what happened.
Shout out to Khabib. Time out. Shout out to my man in the crowd. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Diaz and them was getting it in. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. All that lip service, you are not giving my man's the lip service. You are not walking past my man and saying nothing slick, no slick talking, no background. Listen, man, he ready to throw. I love this dude so much. He's ready to throw the hands over bagels. Like you got that all-American bagel, and he want the all-American bagel. You gonna give up that bagel, my dude? I'm about him all day.
But you know, Nick just angling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he gonna get angled. Oh my god!
But now the fight that fight to me that made the night. Like I've never seen anything like that. That right. I never seen him. So I don't like put it this way. I don't even know if he could come back off that. Like I mean, like you know how when someone's stock takes a hit, so like you
will not be the same.
Like you got smashed in 5 seconds. Like it's really 2 seconds because it took the ref 3 seconds to get over there. Right. You know what happened.
I can say this, right?
Yeah.
In that, what you're saying is like we all know, like, well, in the boxing world, if a dude get a flash knockout, he can angle it any type of way he want to angle it. All right, now when a dude gets a tail smoking for 12 rounds, like if Ben would have got a tail smoking for those 14 minutes that this dude wanted to give him, like if he would have gave, and then at the end of the 14, cap it off with the cherry on top, like that. Then you can't come back from that.
Yeah, that's different.
I think it's too many angles you can play. Like, yo, I didn't see the knee. I dipped to the left. My foot slipped. You got a good shot. I want to run it back. I don't ever think he's gonna run that back though. I don't ever.
Yeah, it's his stock. That's It's almost worse solved than when Conor did Aldo because it's like. It was just so devastating, and he took like you saw when they walked him out. It was like you see a ghost, like he saw a ghost, like it was crazy. Yeah,
that's when you get snuffed, right? Like you walking, y'all walking,
you get snuffed, and you don't know what happened. You know
that? Like who snuffed me like that? Like who did that? That's what he had. He had the who did that look. And shout out to the who did that for you. Oh, listen, I want to hit up a couple of people, right? Because I hear people running around with my verbiage. Like I hear people talking about Xbox only begotten son, Phil Spencer. Shout out to you frauds that's not giving me my credit, because all you dudes out there was not repping old boy. All right, I really want to keep that 100%. Like, and I know you see. I want y'all to go to your favorite, because it's one of your favorite shows, right? That's on YouTube right now that gets the 300 and 600K views. Those dudes. That sad thing, you did a little expose on Phil Spencer, the savior of the Xbox. Boy, stop playing those games with me. You did not talk all that stuff before.
Claiming that?
Yeah, I'm the only one claiming that. There you go with that Batman. I like that Batman. So anytime I went on anybody's show, they wanted to go in on old Phil. Fine, give them time. I'm down with Xbox only begotten son. I was the only one calling him the Xbox only begotten son, the Messiah of Xbox, whatever it was, because we was in the bushes. Then all I'm waiting for is that show to say in the bushes, and I'm gonna have to call him.
You gotta get the copyright.
I'm gonna have to call him.
No doubt. But yeah, man, it was good fights, man. That card was sick. I know you already talked about the other stuff. Amazing card, man. But who up talking yet? Because Soft hosting. Is my intro?
No. I mean, I gladly.
No. You the host. You got to do Addict now. You got to do me. You the host. I'm on vacation.
Fine.
Vacation.
Lord Addict, do you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time. I don't know what you guys
are talking about.
So we have the young wolf of the ILP, the difficult game conqueror, the man with the most epic and breathtaking beard ever in the history of E3. Lord Addict, what's up, brother? What's going on?
Nothing much. Just got back from getting my truck
Oh,
Okay. You mobile again? You mobile?
No, I'm still not mobile. Let's not get that twisted.
wait a second. You went and picked your truck up, but your truck ain't get you up. Like, what happened?
Well, it's one of those trucks that I have to have a rope and have a skateboard behind before I'm mobile.
I feel you.
So what's up, man? What you been playing, man?
I've been playing some Switch. I played a lot of Bleeding Edge when that little beta had Thursday.
The alpha. What did you think of it?
I like it. But I'm a huge fan of Overwatch, so I'm naturally going to drift towards gameplay like that.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a short amount of time since we played it at E3, but was there anything that you saw that was changed?
No, it's pretty much the same game.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to play it during the alpha. How did they set it up in terms of like just everybody?
I didn't see the game mode that we played. It looks like they're switching up the maps every week. I don't know if it's characters because it's every Thursday.
Okay.
So I was trying out the one that Cognito used at E3, and I was thinking to myself, man, if I would have used this and not Cognito, we would have won that game. Because he's so broken. He hit
the ninja
4 times.
The ninja.
Yeah, he's broken.
He is a beast. Any of you guys play it or any?
No, Addict hit me up and he was like, "Yo, what's up?" But when I get from E3, I take my E3 book bags with all that swag and stuff like that. And I probably don't get into my swag until probably like 2 months later because I'm going through videos and stuff like that and throwing videos up and really trying to decompress from E3. Shout out to Mr. Boomstick. And he said it too. He said, "Well, are we feeling E3 lag? Like, are we feeling drained?" And I don't know how Cog got right out and went to Guardians Con. And I watched every video that you put up.
It's like, he tells us he's going to go get those protein shakes, but really that's like some alien stuff, man, because I had jet lag for 2 weeks.
Yo, shout out to you, Cog, for going in there and bringing us a slice of that life, because ain't nobody allowing me to go to Florida.
I think I'm going next year. If they have it at that exact same place next year, I'm going next year.
Yeah, you can make it out there, but
they just announced it now.
You see, I come back here, you see all these statues that be bust up, situations will be messed up, people will be throwing people off the roof. I'll be in the bushes. I'll be right behind your car on that skateboard.
Another trip so close after E3. That was not happening.
I knew that was a solo mission.
I think I'm going to go next year. I do. I think.
Why you going to go next year? You don't even play Destiny. Boom.
I mean, give me a reason. Like right now, it's looking like that. It's looking like the con is better than the game at this point. So you
out there actively fraud.
Fraud alert early.
Cognito, was I not playing Destiny 3 days ago?
Yes, 3 days ago, man. Throw yourself in the bushes, man.
I love how you'll be willing to use that on anyone else but yourself.
But I use it on myself. You let me know when I'm frauding on Destiny. Shake your leg on that.
With that, let us segue to the boss now, making his triumphant return from Guardian Con, the Shinobi Gaming Ninja, boss of the ILP, LordCognito. What's up, brother?
Salute, man. It's so good to guest. I don't got hosts, so it's great.
Give me that host back.
Nah. That's what I'm saying. Let me be
like this, baby. I'm a special guest.
Well, first of all, one thing I want to do, how you gonna be posting up malfeasance and don't put price tags and say, yo,
ain't nobody.
That's because there was no price tag on it. He already bought it all.
Ain't nobody bank account ready for none of them items except King.
Yo,
is that official merch or is that just like creators? Like
it's kind of like a Bungie museum kind of thing that they had going on. So yeah, it's not really like
wasn't nothing for sale.
No, I mean, at least I didn't go actively pursuing to see. I didn't see no price tag. You know what I'm saying?
Conversations could have been had.
Yeah, were they legit or were they like 3D printed?
Well, legit, bro. Oh, legit. Those the molds, everything. I mean,
that's
designs. Yeah, man. Yo, that con was. Oh man, shout out to Mez. Shout out to Mez and 2 House Super Chat. Much love to the Lord. All hail our Savior, the Cuban Jesus.
What's funny? You know what I found out about Mez the other day?
What you found out?
I'm better at gears than he is. How is that, Mez?
Shot against Mez. But real talk, man. Yo, shout out to Guardian Con, man. Like, it was, to be real with y'all, like, I almost did one comeback today. Like, it was so amazing. Like, what they did for the community, yo. It absolutely.
It seemed like that they really. I wonder if Bungie.
Tell how it is, how it started, because what people are not understanding. I saw when y'all was little in the rinky dink trailer. Like I saw when y'all came from, to come up pitching on the
you know the picture. So basically, they used to call it SweatCon because it first started like a little ball in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Content creator, then it expanded to the joint that me and Ebontis first met 4 years ago was Tampa Bay Fairgrounds. Kind of a little rundown, old stadium kind of a deal, hard floor, but it was all about, people just there with the content creators and talking to everybody. But this is a resort. Like, this is an all-inclusive island where you don't gotta leave. Like, everything you want, everything your heart desire is there, and it could swallow too many Paxes if it wants. Like, you could put 2 Paxes in this place. It's out of control. Like, the sheer scale. Like, if you look at the picture, I think CJ Gibson had a picture up of it, of just like part of it. Right. It literally looked like bigger than the Leviathan. Like, it's insane.
Everything's bigger than Leviathan.
To be fair, the Leviathan was only 4 rooms. Okay,
listen, the Leviathan is my basement right there.
But what's dope? You stupid. What's dope is like, it's getting so big because you had Destiny with the Guardian Con, you had Warframe with the Tenno Con joint, you had Borderlands 3 in there, and it's not just Destiny. Like, if you don't like Destiny, you still good.
Yeah, because I saw the pinball machines and
that's the come up. That's before you even get in. Yeah, they got like a vintage Arcade King type giant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it is really amazing. And check out, I got stuff coming up right now on LordsOfGaming.net. Shout out to Dizzy. Shout out to everybody. We're gonna be putting out a lot of content. Like Dizzy said, they raised $4 million, y'all, for St. Jude's charity. $4 million. That's the community alone. So this is the new wave. I met so many people. Obviously, you saw Ebontis, we linked up, and it was just crazy, man. I'm not gonna front. It's probably the most fun con I've been to. And you know what we've done this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like spectacle. Of course, E3 is the Super Bowl. You know that. PAX is the intimate thing with the devs. But as far as fun for you to go, like, King, you gonna go crazy.
No, I'm not going. Like, I'm looking you right in your face right now. Like, I'm setting up Germany. I'm setting up Japan. There's no way I could slide that under the radar.
This is gonna be my little con. This is my little resort. This is my little resort getaway. My Poconos. This is my Poconos. But it was lit, man. It was lit. But other than that, man, same old stuff. You already know. And just getting back to it, man. Happy to be back. We missed a week, so we got to get back to it.
Yeah, that's why y'all still see the same statue up there. And I didn't do KOS this week because I said, you know what? I usually do a KOS and then leave the statue up for the people that didn't get a chance to see a KOS. And y'all never got a chance to see her, man. Y'all never got a chance to see her spin around with that kid. Y'all never got a chance to look at that. Look at that. She all dynamic. That pose is sickening. Man, she got the jewels in the hand. Woo! Go, I'm gonna tell you right now, go to LordAddictILP after this. Go check out the bio on that. Oh my God, that's a great statue, man.
No doubt.
So besides that, like real quick, Cog, I mean, I know besides the love for the community, did they any tidbits about what's to come? Like,
no, they had the new Shadow Keep trailer. They showed mad stuff. Shout out to the Big Show. He was there, debuting a lot of stuff. Shout out to the car on the block making mad noise right now. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, sorry, just click on my joint because you got to just focus on me so you could take it just off me. But anyway, so like I was saying, they had that. They showed the new Warframe joint. They didn't go too deep with the Destiny stuff. The vibe I got was just they want to give you a teaser, and they had the actress that played Eris.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So she was there. So again, little teaser of Shadowcade, but it was more like talking to the devs. The thing that was dope what they did was that, like, any complaint you got with Destiny, They put themselves on the firing squad. They had the D's, they had the raid leader, they had the Gambit creator. They was like, what did we do right with seasons? Because basically they could say, yo, we're going away from expansions. It's definitely seasons.
Seasons, yeah, because they're looking at Apex and all these other games.
Yeah. So their whole thing now is like, okay, if we're doing this, what did you like about it? What you don't? And they letting you go up to the mic, King, and spit your balls to them. Like, yo, I don't like this. What's going on? This, that, and other. And yo, I ain't gonna front, was mad constructive. Me and D's chopped it up. You know, so Addict, you'll love me, man. I sat down with the raid leader, producer, and I was just telling, I was like, look,
the hell with that Leviathan.
Yeah, I talked about that. And I talked about narrative continuity, how you like what's dope about King's Falls, you play the campaign, and it leads you into the raid, and it's a story. The same thing with Last Switch. You play, like, we don't like these one-offs where you fighting the boss, you don't know why you fighting them. And, you know what I'm saying? So she was like, yeah, like,
did you catch all that on video?
I got her on video, but we're gonna get her in the show. We'll talk about that.
Well, so a lot of times were you able to record?
Yes, like, full record. There's no restriction. There's only one time they got a restriction where they take your phone away. You gotta put your phone they do this roast session. I can't.
But you didn't have a cameraman with you or whatever, because I noticed like a lot of the footage, right? That I saw, like you had the joint, the camera, and then you had your mic, and because you sound clear, you sound great. So like my thing was, you needed a team with you.
I could use one more person.
Okay,
absolutely.
Because when I'm trying to do, like, Addict said he want to go or whatever and stuff like that, but usually, like, let me break it down to you guys. When we go to these shows and Snaldo's there, Snaldo is definitely very meticulous when it comes to video and stuff like that, and I really like that. I really like the fact that he brings that type of meticulous nature to things to allow you to see how you're supposed to set up a shot and get that interview out. And when I was looking, I was like, man, it looked like Cog just need that one or two right there so he can get into that interview. And even though all the footage was great, I know now you're gonna have to get that squad to go. So,
no, absolutely. I'm working on Addict right now. We're working on Addict. That's what we're doing.
Because you look at Snaldo like, nah, that PAX is on lock. I'm on PAX.
Snaldo got PAX. Yeah, that's his baby.
Don't look at me.
But don't let him fool you. Snaldo will betray everything if we get him Ubisoft Media.
That's true.
Really?
That's true.
Oh, yes.
One day fly out for that bad boy.
Ubisoft fanboy. Okay. Shout out to Dizzy. Yes, I was wooing like Ric Flair. Yes, I was. I was out there. One day, salute, brother. Thank you, man. That's what's up.
So with all that traveling, I'm sure you on your Switch. What were you playing, man?
You wasn't playing no Switch. Man, come on, man. You wasn't playing no Switch. Yo, man, you wasn't playing no Switch either. Stop with the Switch.
Would never believe that I played the Switch.
Nah, you're gonna have to put up footage. I ain't trusting you right now, man. I think you're just buy a Switch just to say, yo, you know, I'll be out there with that Switch. And your Switch is in the bushes, just like mine.
You saying they buy a Switch every week? Be like, you know what I played this week on the Switch?
You look at they, and there's no way to check they joint because all they get, you get your social security number and that's it. That's all you see in they joint. You can't check they facts.
That joint for the plane trip good. Just let y'all know. But Phantom Doctrine.
Are you still rocking with that?
Okay. That game is long. But yeah, that's it for me, y'all. Let's get into it.
He's lying. He's lying to you.
Actually, me spending a lot of time in doctor's offices the past couple of weeks, so I've been on that Switch. So, but I got that Mario Maker 2. That game is insane. There's too much. Like,
that's right.
That game ain't for you.
No, I mean, I don't care about creating anything. I'd rather just download levels and see what craziness people come up with.
That people come up with,
yeah. Beyond that,
I tried to get Kid Smooth to play that and play some of those downloaded levels, but he didn't want none of that smoke. So
yeah, some people. That's one thing. That is for the hardcore Mario dude. If you want to pull your hair out playing Mario, go right ahead. That's Mario Maker. That's for you.
So let's get it.
Let's get it. So what we got?
All right.
We got bills too, right?
Yeah, we got bills to pay, fellas. Unfortunately, because of E3 and my absence, we didn't do June's Patreon. So we're gonna give you a double dose of goodness.
All right.
So we're gonna get into that right now, real quick. All right. So first of all, let me just give our shout outs to all our patrons again. Thank you very much, guys, for all.
No government name, so
No government name. No government name.
Bless.
Sanchez with the
Earl Williams III.
I swear, man, white people don't say government name. Like we just don't. Like,
Wow.
You guys would be the first ones to do that.
I've never seen a white person say government name.
News right now. Willie Jenkins Jr. has definitely got out there.
Third.
Continue, so.
All right. So first we're gonna go with the man in the chat right now talking a lot of UFC smack. My man Meds.
Hello, bro.
Meds, thank you so much.
Fight Culture Podcast Mondays 6:30. I'm there.
Oh,
No doubt. And of course, one love always to our forever patron and friend, Lord Corey Leidick, aka Whiskey. Shout out, no doubt.
I still got you right there. You still with me, bro?
No doubt. And of course, Lord Slow Mo Back Slap. Thank you so much for the support. And then followed by Lord Hakeem NPC. I like that.
No doubt. Hakeem, what's up?
Big shout out to Lord Hakeem. And of course, our fellow YouTube brethren, Lord Nintendo Direct. Thank you.
Lord Nintendo. Gotta get him back on the show. It's been a minute. I need some switch love.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we don't.
They said no, we don't.
We are fine. We don't need that.
We're good.
Come on, you know.
he can have him back as long as he promised not to talk about Nintendo.
Wow. Savages.
Then we have Lord Wraith the Emperor. Thank you for your support.
Salute.
Yeah.
All right.
I made him feel new, soft.
Yeah, Wraith is new. Thank you so much.
Yo, salute. Thanks for being in the room.
Been a couple of, but again, since we haven't been on and announcing yet, it's been a minute. So thank you for thank you for jumping on. Mm-hmm. And of course, followed by Lord Fastback 6760.
Mustang NLG in the building.
No doubt. Followed by Lord Stitch 6669.
Yeah, that's my dude. He's on that Destiny. Get him, Stitch. Get him.
No doubt. Slow-mo, what up?
And next we have Lord Vagabondo.
What's up? That's the homie right there. Vagabondo.
Yeah, yo, it's 76 of y'all watching and 36.
Yeah, please hit them likes, y'all. Please. We've been giving a lot of good content this week.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then who do we have next? We have Lord Gaming Forte. I don't know if Forte is in the chat today. Is he?
Forte right there. He's right there.
He's right there.
Shout out to Forte for correcting me on some arcade game I ain't know about, some wave race looking game. And he's like, you didn't know about. I'm like, dude, I never had this.
What's wrong with you, Con?
Shout out to me. I wouldn't know any of that.
Before your time, addict. Before your time. Followed by Lord Undead. 360.
Hey, yo, Dad. Yo, Dad. Hit Cog up.
Yo, you're savage.
Moving on. Lord, followed by the Lord of Xcloud. Friend to the realm, Lord Bill Stillwell, aka the Wall of Bill.
Yo, Bill. Yo, I'm not gonna front. Yo, you got something special coming, my dude. Like, yo, you don't know. Like, I'm right. You know how when somebody in their bag, like they mixing up a potion? I'm mixing up a potion right now.
No doubt. And of course, big salute to our first patron ever, Lord Michael Lugo, aka Monkey Punch.
Baby.
Yo, Punch. I miss playing with you, man. I miss you shooting me in the back of the head. Pause. You gotta get back on, man.
Punch has been exiled from Destiny.
Nah, not even Destiny. No. We was playing PUBG. We averaged a team kill every game. Like we'd be in the Jeep. And he just like, and my body will fall out. Like,
that's like playing State of Decay with Snaldo.
Hey, whoa. Somebody throwing a grenade.
Driving skills, you know.
The most memorable
be driving.
The most memorable State of Decay moment I had is when me and Kid Smooth were playing, and I had a van, and Kid Smooth, like there was like 5 zombies. This dude flipped out, thought he was gonna die, took off with the van, blew the van up, And they came back and I was like, dude, they're all dead. Like you did all that unnecessary stuff.
That's
All
not
of
like
it was
that.
unnecessary.
No, but he
like
left you there. He said, "Leave the white meat." So he zombies like white meat.
Oh, see, look at that, man. I had to make it race somehow.
Bad, Wraith World. Wraith World said he been here for a minute. He's been a Patreon. My bad, Wraith World. Salute though.
I guess he might have changed that.
He might have changed your name. That's what it is. I don't recognize your name.
I never recognized the
Yeah.
logo.
What was your name before?
Yeah.
Put it in the chat, Wraith World, so that we know. Continue, so.
Yeah. So next,
Watch him be like, "This has always been my name."
And we're gonna have to go big my bad.
Then we gotta say my bad again.
Followed by Lord Sammy Prescott. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the support. And of course, family to the realm, Lord J. Fonz.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Thank you for holding it down last week through all of that Red Dead slander that always or the week before last, because it always comes up when I'm not here. You know,
I don't care if you here or you not. The game is what?
Oh my God! Yeah, I got
Yo,
push is bound.
you know who agrees with you? Joseph Farris, the dude who developed a way out. Shut up.
Everybody agree with me.
That's the after Oscars himself. He
him. Okay, got you.
Right, yeah. Everybody agree with me because that game whack.
Too much slander.
And of course, followed by our guest today, Lord Snaldo, showing love to the realm always.
Let's get it.
That it should be a law against that. You can't be on the Patreon and on the show. I don't know. Some stuff did.
Don't we have a Patreon tier for that too?
Yes.
Give money to my friends. I'm sorry.
I get more money out this man.
I will not confirm or deny any extra payments to the Iron Bank.
You want any more of this?
God, Snaldo paid his way in.
Hey, King. If Snaldo goes out of the Patreon, I'm gonna need you to remedy that because you're the one that got him to leave now.
No, he ain't going no place. Snaldo's stuck with us.
Don't worry about that slander.
Yo, you know what I like though? You know what I like about Snaldo right there? He wearing that blue though.
That Royale blue.
Change it up.
Yeah, because usually he love the red. You know how he is. He be blood all day. Pause.
Blue now. I'm good.
Let's get to this.
All right. Bro. Next, we have family from the cradle to the grave. Lord M. Bird himself, Lord Loaded Pixel.
Cole.
Cole. And of course, Lord Cat Daddy Fat Stack. Thank you for the support always from the jump. Followed by Lord Tao Tazoichi. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated. And then, of course, next we have Lord Joe Hansel Villegas.
Yes.
Thank you so much, George. I think Joe Hansel's in the chat.
I think I saw.
I think I saw. And of course, always last but never least, from across the pond, Lord Death Singer.
All right.
There's another one. We got to get on this PUBG manners. We got to bring it back. Bring that old feel back.
All right, now, so we're gonna do these giveaways and we're gonna double up. So we're gonna do June and July. So we're gonna do both $10 back to back, then both 20s back to back.
Winning today. People gonna win today.
Yeah, this is the cash back.
Go.
All right. So the winner of the first $10 giveaway is Addict's favorite. Lord Wraith the Emperor.
Wraith the Emperor. Salute.
That's why he changed the name. You know,
having the other one.
No doubt.
Double up.
What else we got? So the winner now of the second $10 giveaway is
I actually got that.
Lord Hakeem NPC. Why did you guys pause like that? Like you don't know who I'm talking about?
He just said his name just 5 seconds ago.
Okay, that's what's up.
Hakeem is on it.
Hakeem is on it. All right, congrats, guys. I will get that info to you as soon as possible. All right, let's get into these $20 giveaways. The winner of the first $20 giveaway is Lord Stitch 66.
Whoa, big one. Stitch in the
Yo, Stitch. Yo, I swear, man, you better gift wrap me something from I can
Almost
get from Eververse.
There's some NBA lottery tomfoolery going on.
Yeah.
Slow advances. Not feeling this,
Right. What's the matter, Slow? You ain't feeling people greasing the palms? What's up?
The Iron Bank is always open to conversation.
As long as you don't make me play Dream Daddy again, we're good.
Yeah, that's your joint.
The winner of the second $20 giveaway is Tao, aka Tasuichi.
Yo, you gotta know that Sovereign gives you a hint on who won ahead of time, like the way he say their name early. Like I'm just thinking about it. Man.
Why are you giving it away? Why are you giving it away? All right, let's get into these double Teespring giveaways.
Yo, Meds, you gonna get that drip. Here it is.
Swag.
So the winner of the first Teespring giveaway is
Who getting the swag?
Lord Johansel Villegas.
Oh, yo, Meds, don't worry, you still in it. 2 months. 2 months, Meds, 2 months.
Yo, Hansel, what's up? He's out here.
Yeah. All right. So now let's go for our second and final giveaway of the day, our second Teespring giveaway.
Oh, man.
Get it.
And the winner is Lord Gaming Forte.
Oh, that's what they first. That's what they
I think that's the second time Forte wins Teespring, I believe. Yeah, he did win Teespring.
What, Teespring before?
Yeah, he definitely did.
That's what's up. Yo, shout out to Stitch with the $5 go really king. It's for you.
Yo, you said that King. You said there are a lot of frauds coming back to Destiny now because of Division broken RNG. And you just got paid for that Shadow Keep.
Yeah, bushes. Go with the bushes.
We own it, baby. We own it. Forte, it's still rigged now. Yo, Forte, is it still rigged now?
Slow-mo said, now I know it's rigged. Everybody like, say, out of here. Yo, they back.
That Forte should never win.
So, man, you got to talk to Forte, man. Maybe he'll share the wealth, you know?
Slow-mo.
No doubt. So we're done with Patreon for the past 2 months. Thank you so much again for the support, guys. We much appreciate everything you guys do for us, especially being here every Sunday. So thank you once again. So let's get into these topics.
Oh, we've been away.
We've been away. Some things have gone down. So I'm gonna just go right down the list. I'm gonna start with the boss. The boss talked about. You got some PlayStation talk to talk. So let's get into it.
It's crazy, man. So yeah, shout out to mpfirst.com. It was kind of one of the first outlets to put out the information. So apparently there's some exploits going on in the Sony network. And yeah, basically it's a major security exploit. And just for the record, it is, you know, more so on the network side as opposed to the console side. So I just want to be clear. Right. But basically how it works is that, like typically, like PSN requires, you know, the credit card to supply that CVV number, you know, your extra little 3 digits on the back. So usually that's when you on PSN, that's something that's requested. But when you log in from a different console, that's where they're getting this backdoor exploit. So pretty much, you know, the thief could get their hands on it with someone else's PlayStation's user account, and then they can rack up on the credit card. So, you know, they try to bring it to the attention of PlayStation. Obviously, this has been something that's been a bit of a concern with security issues in the past. So I wanted to bring this to the realm with the exploit that we are hearing. And obviously, you know, it's now supposedly being addressed and stuff like that. But the consensus is, you know, the security, people feel a way about security on PSN network. So I bring this to run. What do you guys feel about this? Is this something that is, you know, you feel is a major issue that needs to be talked about, and or just something that's a one-off kind of situation?
Let's go with King first. I see King. King in the background. So
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Madura, or whatever his name is. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Oh man, yo, if it's 2019 and you're behind still talking about, oh, PlayStation is the place to play. Obviously, you haven't got your stuff stolen. like it's just a matter of time. You like one of those guys that go to the gym all the time and put your stuff in the locker and you come back like, oh my God, there's my locker up. Yeah, PlayStation. That's how they do. That's how their security is. They out there smoking cigarettes in the backyard. They don't care about your stuff. And then when you call them out on it, and you say, yo.
So are you saying that a gym membership has better security than Sony?
Yes. And when you call them up on it, you say, excuse me.
Look at that. Sony won't even pay for padlocks according to King.
They don't pay for anything because when you tell them about it, that you got $500 stole out of your account, they go, that's kind of on you, bruh. Like, you know, like they redirect you until a phone call.
And if you file with your bank, they ban your PSN account.
Yeah.
For clarity, it's not on the console. It can be hacked for any network. So if you set up two-factor authentication or something like that, you can protect yourself. But I see where you're going, King. But obviously, they've had a history, you know what I'm saying, in the past.
You can't trust somebody that keep doing this to you. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like,
isn't part of it that it can bypass the two-factor authentication by giving a fake source, a fake payment source?
Get them something.
In theory, if you have two-factor authentication, you should be able to stop it. But again, it's happening on the network side outside of it, as opposed to on the console side. So that is something that they really need to stress as far as a major thing. I know a lot of other sites use it, you know, that kind of thing.
I just never had this problem with my Xbox. I mean, I just really want to bring it to the table. I just want you to understand, like, sometimes, you know, when somebody repeatedly offends you in this manner, somebody needs to talk out about it. And I'm glad that you brought this to the table today, because definitely 100%. I needed Chris in this. I don't know why Chris is not here today, but Chris, whenever you show up, maybe they banned you on your PlayStation because you try to get your money back after they robbed you, baby.
Slow-mo said what I said in theory equals yes. Look, I'm just being fair. I'm trying to be fair. Yeah, it could be got. It could be got. There's no getting around it.
Hold on. Let's pay the bills real quick. Shout out to Lord Death Singer with the $5 super chat. Salute, Lords. Missed you guys last week. Happy you're back. Salute, Phil Dominus. And is it me, or does PSN have security from the Windows 90?
Wow. Oh, shout out to Brap. The real Phil works for Google State.
Yeah. You know what?
Brap signed a contract.
Brap, do me a favor.
Contract, just so y'all know.
Brap, do me a favor. Post your pre-order. That just happened to you.
Salute. Good to see you, man. Let's get Petey in on this. I'm curious. What's up, Snow? What you feel about this?
I just want to verify, because I don't have a PlayStation, obviously. So
he said, obviously, I don't know.
So is it happening on just the consoles, or where else is it happening?
It's using an export. It's an export on the network. So basically, these modders, that's what they're literally doing. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's just racking up, trying to get that CVV information when you're not on someone else's console. It's on another network. It's how they're able to snatch it.
So that's just, they got to fix that. I'm sorry. There should be no reason why anyone should be able to snatch your security information or take your payments or anything like that. Come on, Sony, how much money do you have in your bank account? You should be able to fix this. If my company is not nearly as big as yours and we have dual factor authentication, and we don't have problems, you shouldn't have problems.
Well, a lot of people are saying they're spending all the money on making a one-person experience games that they're not paying for the security.
Oh my God.
It's got right now out of control. Listen, obviously 2014 was a big dent on them. We definitely know that. So what do you think, Addict? What's going on with you, man? Oh, he's in the bushes. All right, great. Get back to the host.
He found out that there was hacks going on in the PlayStation. He went to check his account.
PlayStation the things that bother me most about this is, one, they knew about it, and they knew about it, and they didn't give it the importance that it deserved at the time. Right. So, and the fact that it's on the server side and not the console side, I think it makes it even more dangerous because, like you said, it's not like somebody stealing your info specifically to access your console and like, you know, running up $1,000 bill or whatever on your console with games and whatnot. It's that they're stealing your actual full-on information. They could do anything with it. They go buy a car with your information.
Let's get that. Let's get that whip.
So that to me is what's most concerning, and the fact that they knew about it and they didn't give it the importance that it deserved, and now that more people are bringing up their stories of what's happened with that, now all of a sudden it's back in the public eye. But this is a kind of an exploit that they've known about for a couple of years, right? Am I wrong?
Russian, real quick. Shout out to No Russian. No Russian. Xbox probably got hacked. They probably got DDoS this weekend. But did anybody get an Uber purchased? And they who's Ubering on somebody's PlayStation account? This is why I'm just trying to figure out what's going on out here with these whips with the PlayStation account.
Yeah, man. I mean, man.
Am I wrong about that, Cog? Is that like the fact that they knew about it and they saw
they've been approached about the exploit, you know, and you know, again, as of right now, I've been looking at the updates, you know, obviously that people are showing videos of how to do the exploit, you know, and so
wow. Yo, Cog, what is PlayStation's answer in all of this?
As of now, I have not seen an official answer. I'm not saying it does not exist. Oh boy, JD Game is here we go. If you're fool enough to trust Sony's network, you deserve to be hacked. Should be on Xbox Live anyway. PSN is a scrub network. Should have learned before. Look, all I'm going to say is this. You know, obviously, again, you know about the big hack 2014, whatever. Since then, y'all, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Like, I only do PayPal or some prepaid card with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just when you had that exploit where basically the keys to the front door was left in front of the house in a box to allow you to go, that really put me in a bad place with them as far as security. Now, since then, yes, it's improved, but when you hear things like this, you just want them to be a little bit more responsive, a little bit more transparent. Again, I haven't said that they have not responded. I have not seen anything officially to this point. If you guys have seen anything, please let me know, because I was at Guardian Car. But you know, that's what I'm seeing right now. And as of right now, this update is, I mean, this article still has not been updated with any response on Sony's side. So that part troubles me a little bit. You know, so that's where I'm at.
I think with them, they're trying to downplay it because I guess the reported incidents haven't grown to the amount where they have to address it publicly.
So you saying I can go pre-order other systems and stuff like that with people PlayStation money?
Follow that handy YouTube exploit video.
Hold on, let me pull this up. I gotta get into this. I need statues, baby. These statues don't pay for themselves, baby.
Yeah, I think what Cox said, it hits it right on the nose. Like for me, after that, I think it was 2011 that it happened. Right, it was earlier than 2014, but you know, to me, it was just one of those things. Like, you know what, I PayPal with you guys. I two-factor my PayPal.
Yeah, man.
And I put up as many barriers as possible.
Yep.
It's a pain when you make a purchase, especially now that I'm
digital. Message, but it's worth it, man. That peace of mind, bro.
Because I don't trust them in that regard. And again, like, and the thing was, and it goes back to that PS3 thing. Like, how do you put the keys to the front door in the system? I don't care how well you think you protected it. You just don't do that.
You know what it sounds like to me, guys? It sounds like y'all got a great restaurant where the food is banging, but you just can't pay with your credit card. You got to pay with cash.
It's cash only.
Like, it's a cash-only restaurant. And that kind of sucks in this day and age because some people don't want to walk around with all that money. Yeah. Suck.
No, I'm shout out to Brad. He's like, it's not just with Sony. He said banks get hacked. Like, true. The only thing is, again, it is a network issue, but at the same time, because you got to look at the track record, right? You got to look at the history. This is not the first time they've been associated with a security breach. So for me personally, it's no disrespect to the engineers, but I am not putting my hard and fast credit card information saved up on the server. I just can't do it with them based on it. But here we go.
Lord, let's go, King.
Nah, you gotta let Cog read this. He out here with the Sony Defense Force.
JD Game. If I was Microsoft, I would rub this in Sony's face. It would be how to share a game moment. If he's, oh my God, if you think you're bringing your digital games forward on PSN, your games will be brought forward to me. Wahaha.
Yeah.
my God.
I think for me, I mean, and this goes for Microsoft too, and it goes for Nintendo. Like I don't put my info on anything. I just
Yeah, especially Nintendo is the Sony, especially. It's funny you say that. To me, it's PayPal with an
got my
carrier
credit card.
and two-factor between.
Xbox has always had my credit card, and it never went to the account and looked and said, "What does Xbox do today?" I've never went to my account and said, "Xbox, are you acting up?" It's not been a time, but I could tell you this: that PlayStation makes me nervous, and I've heard all you guys talking about. There's so much stuff going on over there, and this just eloquates the point again. It highlights it for all y'all to see. Y'all still keep going back over there. They still keep robbing, and it's not Sony that's robbing. Let's get it right. The systems is easy to hack in the back door because their cloud infrastructure or their internet security is terrible. So it allows hackers to get in there and take care of stuff. And all the reason why that deal with Microsoft is a beneficial deal. Hopefully they bring security with them with a couple of more big guys in there that can keep y'all out from touching stuff. I like that. I like that. The deal with Microsoft stands. It's fantastic.
That's what I got. I don't know if Attic had anything to contribute.
Is Attic out of the bushes?
What? No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, you back now?
So what do you feel?
I've been here.
No, you were not here. You were in the bushes. I was watching.
Not when we asked you.
Oh, are you talking about the security thing?
Yeah.
Look, man, it's Sony being Sony. There's nothing else I can really say. There's been multiple occasions they've shown that they care about their bottom line more than people getting stolen from. They have on multiple occasions, instead of like, yeah, we was in the wrong, here's a refund, everything's good. Like, oh, you want your money back? Well, then you're just gonna have to either get your money back or not play on PlayStation. You can't have both.
Have they gotten better about that though? Didn't they make some sort of change in regards to like returning games and stuff like that? And
no, that is refund policies. That has not. I'm talking about fraudulent activity.
I gotta read this. Because Brap is out here busting shots at JD Gamer. So, at JD Gamer, this is the only thing Microsoft could rub in Sony's face is they can't do it with games. No, Brap. For me, I must defend JD Gamer because JD Gamer can defend itself. But I think Game Pass speaks for itself, sir. Bushes.
Oh my God, y'all shout out to Brap in the building, throwing a little shot. That's all I got. What else we got, Soph?
All right, so we're gonna segue right into Addict's topic. So there's been some happenings at Remedy. So tell us what's going on, man.
So apparently, Microsoft, they, to my knowledge, they didn't own the publishing rights, or do they own the IP? Because it's kind of like everywhere for Alan Wake. What I've been told is that they sold it back to Remedy, and that's what it seems like what actually happened. I don't know when it happened. I don't know if it happened last week, last month, last year, but it was finally came out that Remedy has secured all of the publishing rights and everything about that IP. And so I'm a little like, I get it.
Fighting now.
Oh, they going in right now. Shout out to DeathSync on the $5 super chat. I heard PlayStation now have an exclusive game show system. Put your card on PSN and see if you're the lucky one. Cross your fingers, my fellow post. Wow, the fanboyism is lit right now. Super chat. They ought to continue, Attic.
But for what I've been seeing is so if they weren't going to do nothing with Alan Wake, it definitely looked like they wasn't. They weren't going to outsource. They clearly wasn't going to buy Remedy. I don't think they should have bought Remedy anyway. But they gave an iconic brand back to Remedy, which is currently working with Sony on Control. It might not be an exclusive, but they have a lot of marketing rights with them. Right. So I'm just like, now what could happen is Alan Wake 2 could show up on the Sony stage, because right now they have a deal going on with them. And I'm just like, how bad, let's be real here. If next year at E3, Alan Wake 2 was teased, because Sony got no problem teasing something that's 8 years in the future. They got no problem. That game won't even be in concept. They don't even have concept art about it. And they'll show a trailer that has nothing to do with the game, because that's what Sony does. So do you think that's going to be an issue? Do you think that they're letting opportunities go? Because I feel like they had a mic to drop moment at any E3. All they had to do was announce an Alan Wake 2. Sure, it might not have appealed to the many, but it would appeal to the hardcore gamers. A lot of people like that trash. I don't.
Wow.
But, you know, so I feel like they gave that mic to drop moment. Not only gave it up, but they potentially let someone else, their competitors, pick it up.
Oh, they out here fighting.
JD Gamer shooting his
Let me read this. Let me read this. 15. Okay, this is from JD Gamer, $5. 15 studios aren't sitting still. They're making games, and they will be coming soon. Game Pass forever, baby. Best deal in gaming. Don't be jealous. Look here, Brap. He got a point there. I gotta agree with
that. Chief Tommy said something that was kind of weird. We know the truth about Game Pass. What? That you ain't got it? Like, what was it? What's the truth about Game Pass that we don't understand? And listen, Chief Tommy, that's the last time I'm not gonna read something in
until you have green around.
Hey,
it.
You should feel accomplished. You got him to read something that wasn't
right. I just want, you know why that was JD Gamer. JD Gamer would have been out here splatting. He out there and he in the club like. So that's for JD Gamer. I gave you that one. That's it. You ain't getting no more.
Oh man, two of them. They gave two of them.
No, so what we think, so.
So let's go with King first on this one.
Okay, so you putting Barry Bonds first. All right, I got it. The question is, who really cares about Alan Wake? And a lot of people did. Oh, shout out. Go ahead, Kyle. Get him.
Oh, man, shout out to Lunkin. Don't let all this PlayStation nonsense distract you from the fact the Switch is trash.
It's like what we said, but it's like you snuffing the kid that has nothing to do with the conversation. Why do you
get here comes Lunkin punching him in the face.
Shout out to the Switch kid in the bushes.
Minding his own business.
Lunkin. I am addict and I approve that message.
Wow. All right. So, like, who really cared? I mean, a lot of people saw that you can make Alan Wake and just rename it as the Blair Witch. Like, we saw that, right? Because I was there and I swore I was tapping Colt. I was tapping everybody to the side. I was tapping Boomstick. I was like, oh, new Alan Wake. Oh, and they hit you with is the Blair Witch. And maybe they felt that Alan Wake ran its course, or this, right? Maybe they said, well, we're not going to purchase your studio, and as your consolation prize, we give you back your most treasured IP. We'll sell it back to you so you can do it as you choose. And is that them keeping the bond together with them? Like, we won't purchase your studio because we're purchasing all these studios, and we evaluated your studio from top to bottom, and it doesn't fit the criteria that we're looking for. But instead of just holding on to this IP, we're going to allow you to get your IP back so you can do it as you choose, so that studio can actually still thrive and grow and don't die in the industry.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Alan Wake, people have like the memory of that game is one of those like people, oh, we loved it. It was great. It was great for its time on Xbox. It was something different. It was a departure from Max Payne, which at that point they had already given up to Rockstar, and it was something different, but it's not, again, and just because it was an exclusive on that platform, people sort of associated with it. But Max Payne, if you look at Alan Wake, and shout out to somebody who mentioned it in the chat, it's kind of a snooze fest. Like the way that game is set up, it's very noirish with like Alan Wake constantly talking, breaking the fourth wall and sort of talking about stuff that, what he's doing specifically. The game is set up in a certain way that it isn't necessarily super exciting. For its time, I thought it was cool. I never finished it. I don't know, man. Like, I just don't. If they want to make it again and reboot it, now they have that opportunity to do it. I know Microsoft probably just looked at it and was like, you know what? Because I think there was plans for a 2 at some point, and that got scrapped.
Well, they were shopping. They were shopping to multiple people, and it didn't seem anybody was interested outside of Microsoft as well.
Did Quantum Break sour Microsoft on Remedy? That's the real question.
Well, that seemed to come after, right? Because it was Wake first, and it looked like they kind of got back in the table with Quantum Break, and they did something. But yeah, it was a good point.
I think so another conversation that's going on is, should Sony capitalize on this and just snap them up and and try to buy Remedy. That's something that I've heard.
And these studios,
to be honest with you, that might be what's going on behind the doors,
Mhm.
because all of a sudden, all these rumors that they're going to buy Remedy, and then before you know it, Microsoft's like, we'll sell the IP back. Like, maybe that was one of the conditions. It's like,
Right.
if we'll let you buy us, if you help us buy that.
Right.
I don't know. I mean,
because don't you think, like, I know Remedy got money, but they got that kind of money? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I hear where y'all going with it, with the whole Alan Wake as a title. I get it. I just, like, again, for me, it's optics, man. I struggle with this stuff, man. And I'm not even no Alan Wake dude. Like, I'm with y'all.
What's funny is King David and Solid Red, not Solid Red, Sovereign are always like Addict World, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go against my wishes because I don't care about Alan Wake. I'm like, this is bull, and they're like, it's nothing. The game it's not relevant now, and I'm just like, what about the Addict World? How am I on the other side of the world right now?
It is true right now. They kind of addicts.
I'm not saying it's irrelevant. I get you, but you know what it is? A lot of it is people nostalgia. Like nostalgia right now is hurt because it's like, oh my God, it's going to be on somebody else's platform, right? But beyond Alan Wake 2, I think the first thing we see is some Alan Wake remastered come into like Switch and PlayStation. I see that happening.
I got to read JD Gamer's journey. He said, King, don't be nice. All that Salt Remedy was out there spreading. Microsoft should have brought the studio, took the IP, fired all, and sold the studio to Sony later. I get what you're saying, right?
Oh my God.
But to my own point, right? Maybe they saw a studio that they've worked with in the past that's like on the fringe, because let's be real. If Control doesn't make it, where's Remedy really at? Right?
Remedy ain't there right now with Control.
That's seeing Control behind the scene. Control fire. And with Control, that Guardian Con too.
Control looks good, but so did Quantum Break. Now, when it came out, I thought Quantum Break was good, but there's a lot of people that didn't like the game, right? And maybe those same sour people won't like Control, right? I don't care if it's on PlayStation, but PlayStation has a lot of IPs that's over there that's gonna drown that IP out. So maybe Microsoft gave them the fighting chance that they needed because they knew they wasn't going to purchase them. So I understand what you're saying, but sometimes if somebody didn't do anything wrong to you, you shouldn't do something wrong to them. You give them the best fighting chance to do something for themselves, even if you're not going to work with them.
Let me jump in right quick. I just want to say, because here's my thing. I see what y'all saying, and from a business standpoint, King, you're right? From a pure business, you give them a shot, it doesn't do the numbers or whatever. I guess I struggle with the fact that I see their portfolio and the single player joint to me is lacking. You know what I'm saying? Like the single player experience is lacking. And then we always talk about the nurturing aspect, which is like, if you have something that's under your belt, me and Addict have talked about this, like it seems to be consistent. They had Mass Effect under their belt at one point. They had Titanfall under their control at one point. Like these are things under their control. And my thing is, for once, I would like to see something that was not a home run initially. There was maybe like a single up the middle that you nurture and you stay with and develop. That's what I'm saying.
You want them to keep this?
I gotta be real with you, Cognito.
I
gotta be real with you, man.
Listen, I know where you're going.
Remedy ain't that.
It may not be Remedy. I'm just tired of seeing this same episode. And I'm watching the same episode with their titles, like something that's under their control that may have had promise. All of a sudden, now it's multi-plat.
I gotta agree with you when it comes to the whole Respawn and BioWare. They missed out huge opportunities, but they didn't miss that one on Remedy.
And maybe they write for the Remedy. Maybe they saw that bread with Quantum Break, and
to be honest with you, I hope Sony buys Remedy because I think Sony can make Remedy a great studio.
I don't think no one can make Remedy a great studio. And I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like Alan Wake was the middle of the road. It was a 60 percentile. Like, so stop about all this revisionist history. Like people talk about Alan Wake was out here haloing situations.
Remedy hasn't been the same since they gave up Max Payne.
The quality of the game wasn't that to me either. And again, if you look at my personal feel of the game, you look at the numbers on the game. Yeah, business sense, it probably didn't make sense to keep that joint. I get it. I just don't like
when you got something that look just like it.
And I can throw in the Sunset Overdrives, and then I can throw it's always, and then the Rise. It's always these games that they have that somehow they don't got no more. That's all I'm saying. And
I mean, and the thing is, they didn't own the IP. What they owned was the publishing rights. And obviously, if you were the only console in town that was able, because I think Remedy self-published on PC, right? So they were the only console that where they published there. So yeah, they were first in line to be able to do whatever they wanted and be able to negotiate with Remedy, but like, look, let's do something else with Alan Wake. For me, it's not.
Can we get a part 2 or something? Can we get a part 2 to something? That's all I'm saying.
Well, I agree. Like Cognito, it's not even some degree. Like there's so many games that should have had a part 2. Like it's not even a Sunset Overdrive 2. I'm not saying Quantum Break needs a sequel. Okay, that needs to just stay where it is. In the shoebox of Phil Spencer, I don't know where it is, but that needs to stay there.
Cog, but you know what's locking with Sony security? You out of control.
But I do think that they should have went above and beyond for Rise. That was when the money wasn't there. Maybe they could do something now with Rise. I doubt it, but I think maybe not Sunset. I didn't mind Sunset. I just don't like a silly game like that. But it wasn't a bad game. Quantum Break was trash.
That's all. I want to hit something.
Well, let's go to PD, because we haven't heard from Snow.
I felt like all of those games felt very similar with the gameplay. Well, I should say all of them felt very similar with their own little niche of differences. And like Alan Wake, they have this great thought process for a franchise. If they take it and they grow with it and make it better, because like I didn't like the gunplay that much in Quantum Break or Alan Wake. I mean, Max Payne, all three of them kind of felt the same to me, but Max Payne was so old, it felt good. So now it's like, what are they going to do? Where they're going to go with it? But if they took,
I think that's the part that annoys me the most is they've made good gunplay, but somehow I don't like when studios backpedal. Like it annoys me. It's like I know you're better than this. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You want to get JD Gamer out here flipping them bucks.
$5. I don't care about Remedy. I care about the narrative and the message that it leaves in the community. They have the resources to stop that narrative. Talk that talk, JD Gamer.
I gotta agree with you, JD. I gotta agree with you.
I agree with you, JD. But sometimes you don't keep something just for visual sake.
That was the one that was arguing with Brap, right?
Yes.
Jay. Okay, I'm on your side, JD.
Yo, just because you arguing with Brap, say that your side is the best side.
Shout out to Death Singer with the $5 super chat. He said, I've decided to give away a copy of Death Stranding. I'm gonna release 10 trailers that have zero to do with it, and then ask you a question.
It's too much Sony slander today. Not in control.
Y'all crazy today with the slander.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, Petey, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying you don't keep things for visual sakes. If it doesn't hurt you to sell it back, you get your bread back. Trust me, I'm pretty sure they want all the money they can get back from Remedy for the debacle that was Quantum Break. And that studio. Remember, they opened up studios, real movie studios. They shot full-length productions.
That was the Dawn.
It was
TV Dawn.
But
come on,
I thought the game was really good if they would have actually got across the vision. It's just it didn't pan out. Cut your losses, and it's not the studio's fault. And I'm pretty sure that Phil or whoever was in charge of this move, Matt Booty, whoever it was, said, you know what? They didn't do anything wrong to us. We probably failed them, allowed them to go thrive. I hope Sony picks them up. I hope they actually do make a game. It'll probably be Max Payne 75, but I hope it happens.
All right, I got to point out one thing in the chat. I'm gonna give this one to you, JD, because you've been tossing that super chat fighting with Brad. I'm gonna give this one to you. He said Recor's Definitive Edition was awesome, should have been reviewed to let people know the difference. Yeah, I agree with you. I think we should have got a record too. To be honest, like
I think we're gonna get one.
I think they're gonna do that one for some reason too.
Yeah. I thought the game was magnificent. To me, it's just me. I didn't, and asked me, did I finish it? No, I didn't.
I like the story of the Quantum Break.
I did.
I enjoyed the story, the time travel stuff, and especially the way the story ended up was very cool. The episodic stuff, the TV show stuff was unnecessary. And what bothered me is that because I felt the gunplay was lacking, it made me mad that they spent all that money on that video stuff. And that to me is what shot down Quantum Break. Quantum Break's story is definitely ripe for a sequel and a change up in that gameplay. Will it ever happen? Who knows? I doubt it.
I doubt it.
The visual portions of it were so good that it could, like, because the consistency of it. I never completed it from start to finish. Like the cinematography, would you say, and the graphics throughout the whole thing?
Beautiful.
I
think I'm gonna tell you this: that 900p, that 700p, that stuff right there, those P's, throw it in the bush.
I think the biggest.
What is it? What's MP? MP? Oh, Alan Wake. AW is Alan Wake. QB is Quantum Break. Max Payne. So Max Payne is greater than Alan Wake. Alan Wake's greater than Quantum Break.
I agree.
Now this is where I'm with Shroom.
Yep.
I kind of feel like they make samey games.
Yep.
Yeah,
like everything is kind of samey and the time slowing and shifting and bullets.
That's why
where I'm with y'all on that part.
That's why I have to respect From Software so much, because like their games are similar, but they're so far apart at the same time. You take games like Bloodborne compared to games like Shadows Die Twice, and then Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Like they're the same formula and the same foundation, but the inside's completely different.
Lobo mad at it. He said, "What is this nonsense when Quantum Break is trash? But we talk about some trash record definitive edition." Oh,
wow.
Wow.
Look, I reserve the right to call Quantum Break trash and say it's in the bushes, but say I like Record. I deserve that, okay? You ain't in a podcast saying it. So
I feel you, Slow-Mo. I really believe everything that you're saying.
Some people ride with Quantum. Some people ride with you.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that at all. I do get
some
the
people
optics.
are wrong.
I get the optics thing, and I've always been one to. The thing about it, the optics, regardless of how we feel about the game, is that oftentimes the optics are the truth. Whatever they become truth, right? Because that's what's up front. That's what people are seeing. So, I mean, again, does it look great for Microsoft to once again let something go if that's the way it went? Yeah, it doesn't look great at all. It doesn't.
Let the babies grow up, Solve. Stop killing the babies in the cradle.
Killing the
Wow, we're gonna really go with that.
After that colorful analogy, we'll move forward. So let's go into King's topic.
Oh, yeah.
There's been some rumors surrounding Project Scarlet and some things that may still be happening. So let us know what's going on, man.
Well, guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back from the dead?
I'm back.
So it seems like somebody said, that other weak system that we was going to put out that wasn't really up to snuff, that's out the door. But we do have an all digital, all streaming system that we're going to work on in the background. And maybe it's the Anaconda without the disk tray. And it's, and it's actually a whole streaming box for those people that actually want that, and they can get that in at a lower price point. Hopefully they don't say, here's the Anaconda at this price point, and then bring out the Anaconda all digital division part or whatever the hell that is at the same price point. I think that will be ignorant at some point in time. If they do that, it has to be cheaper.
Yeah.
But
and King, just to I just want your opinion on it real quick. Do you think that they should make the all digital like a Microsoft store exclusive to not confuse the consumer? Like,
yes. Like I think when you do like an all digital, you can purchase it from the Microsoft store, get it shipped out to you. They can actually see who their clientele is with this system and see the demographic where it can grow from that, opposed to putting it inside a Best Buy and trying to get it and confuse the consumer that's outside in the stores. Like let's go to the people that can do the all digital stuff, because a lot of times these people with data caps, see, I'm not familiar with data caps because we don't have that here in New York.
Neither do we.
Right? So I'm insensitive to those individuals that have this problem. So if you have this problem, why would I put an all digital system inside your store close to you? So you purchase it, you over your data caps, and you yelling out, Microsoft is the devil. Like, so
hold on. Rap out here shooting. I think he's connected to Super Chat without the message, but I think it's why buy Scarlet when PS5 has better games?
I don't know, King. You have to explain that to me because I need to know.
Well, I'm not gonna read what he put in the chat, but I'm gonna read the $2. Thanks. Hey, Brap. Thanks. But maybe that's not Brap. Listen, maybe that's not Brap. Maybe his PlayStation got hacked and somebody threw $2. Shout out to Jeff Singer for the $2.
So you said the Sony network. That was the Sony network. That wasn't the real Rap.
Yo, he backdoor Brap's PlayStation.
Yo, King, he didn't have two-factor authentication on that Super Chat.
Jeff Singer found out. Got him.
That nigga was watching the video of the tutorial.
Yo, y'all savage. But nah, so what's going on, Sal? What's going on with this thing, man? Is it the cloud joint? Is it cloud only?
So this is what I heard, what I read up on it. Is they're looking at a very inexpensive console. Some rumors even have it at anywhere from $60 to $100. That's basically built very little in the way of innards per se, just to connect to the Xcloud network, maybe have some functions in it that improve latency to the network, and so giving it that sort of boost for people who again don't want to necessarily make a big investment in this ecosystem by buying up a console, full-fledged console, and who maybe don't have access to buying a console for whatever reason, either because of demographics or whatever the amount of money they have to spend on it. So if this is true, it is another way besides through, telephones or whatnot, that they're going to be able to get people into the Xbox ecosystem, into the Game Pass ecosystem without having to break the bank to get in. I think if this is true, I think it's very interesting simply because they're not. Phil made a statement. He said, I don't see a future for us. Shout out to Death Singer again. Scarlet is greater than PS5. Let's be real.
I'm going to need King to read that other one.
I got you.
AMD facts. I got the connections. King Phil hooked me up.
Oh my God.
All right, shout out to Addict. Where he put it at? I gotta go find it. Shout out to Addict. Why buy Scarlet when PlayStation 5 has better games? And I'm gonna say this to you, Addict.
How you got a super chat you on the panel to talk to you?
You gotta say,
that's how you talk to me. You talk to me with colors. I only see colors. And I hear you, Addict. I don't see any PlayStation 5 games. Like I don't see.
No, I expect you to say I get you, and I agree.
No, this is the first time I'm not gonna agree.
Look,
with
I just bought your loyalty.
I'm not gonna agree with that. You know why? Because JD Gamer out here smashing these pockets. So shout out to JD Gamer at Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. 95% of the games on both systems. Wow, they fighting. Yo, he just knocked it off my screen.
Wait, what did he say? He said, Brad, 95% of the games on both systems are the exact same, with only 5% representing exclusives, and I want the better network. Then Brap comes back with the $5 super chat. I signed the contracts, Iron Lords, like Kawhi Leonard. See, Microsoft is confused. They cross-dressing.
Wow.
I saw that. Kratos got Brap, man.
Yeah, Kratos got Brap. Cap has officially signed the PlayStation contract.
No, I'm telling you right now, that is not Brap. This is not Brap. His PlayStation has been hacked. And my man Brap is not doing this. Oh no, Henrique. This is not you. You need somebody call Brap and tell him his PlayStation's been hacked.
He's been compromised.
You have been compromised. Securities that.
So why you gotta say PlayStation?
He got Hydra.
Continue. Oh my God, where was I? I love it.
Oh no, come on, we fighting. Hold on.
Yo, we didn't even have a chance to talk. These super chats coming in great. Death Singer.
Oh my God, Death Singer, you stupid.
Only got on a mankini.
I'm done. Yo, it is getting petty right now. It's ridiculous.
You know what? Continue the pettiness.
Anyway,
Please tell me I gotta hear from you.
That Phil said that his message to us is, I don't ever see not putting a box in your house. I don't ever see I'm giving you choice. That's all I'm giving you choice, right? And that's the message to us, because again, this streaming stuff is a choice.
Oh boy, time out. They back at it, man.
Eddie gave it
Wow.
Wow.
Listen, guys, I want you to understand this does not represent my views, but I'm going to read this to you because JD Gamer has a point here. Sony is the crackhead hooker in these streets.
Wow.
And I'm not going to say I understand what that means, but I'm just going to say I just read it.
I definitely more in the super chats today.
Oh man,
moving a little. But let me jump in because I think I see where you was going with that, Soft. I think for me it's like doesn't it seem like now because like we eliminated Lockhart, right? Lockhart's gone now. So we did hear reports, and shout out to Brad Sams because he was the one that was saying like they're so impressed with the streaming technology. So now we're hearing this new cloud exclusive kind of box thing. But let me ask y'all this: like, how would it work? Like is it like a I didn't hear too much on it. Is it like how like a Chrome stick or something? Like, did you hear anything in reference to like the form factor or how they? Is it like? That's what I'm very curious on the implementation.
What they explained in the article was that it was, remember, they weren't going with the weaker system. That narrative is gone. This system is power wise, spec wise, off of a server, it's equal to Anaconda. Right? So you're not going to take a step back. I don't know what's inside the box. Is inside the box, are they putting just the CPU and memory? Are they putting just the hard drive? Because remember, the fast hard drive is what's really getting these systems to where they need to be. Because if you don't have a solid state hard drive with these CPUs, it's really not for nothing. You need that memory, the cohesion with the solid state hard drive, the memory, and the CPU.
So based on what Sam's is talking about, he's saying that he suggests a low power box that will be capable enough to allow a player to move around in a virtual environment. But crucially, game elements like NPCs, interactables, text, and even graphics won't be there. Uh-oh, Brap's back.
Yo, I'm telling you, this is not Brap. I swear.
Death Singer, that man Caney beat outsold Microsoft 2-1 in sales. And now Microsoft is about to get lapped by the weaker Nintendo Switch. Oh, he is in the building. He is in the building.
Yeah, but tell them about those Game Pass numbers.
Don't they just need something to have for input? So wouldn't it just be like something along the lines of they don't need to download anything when they're streaming? I mean, think about it. Like Netflix, they don't stream any of their video, so all they need is something for input.
Brad Tam gave the impression that by using, for instance, like he compared it to Stadia, and with Stadia, he said apparently that if you use Stadia's controller, your input lag would be less than with a regular controller. Their controllers optimized specifically for their network. So he indicated that might be a thing.
Yeah. It's got to be something only based on just input. So, like, I mean, like Netflix and like half of the games and like that, and everyone uses their phones to just stream stuff to their TVs now or their iPads. So they're going to need just something for input. So I don't understand why it's going to be. What are they going to put in a box?
Well, I don't know. Again, that's just the terminology that's just been said. I don't know if it's going to be a physical box, but apparently this is some option that they're considering as the low end as opposed to the Anaconda. So I guess my question to you guys is, like, what do you think if this is the case, what do you think price point they coming in with this? Like, what you think, PD? Like, where you think?
If they put a box and you get a box, quote unquote, I'm saying box with a controller, $100, that would be cool. But like, if they're gonna go higher than that, like, I think you're gonna have to do something like adding GamePass or something like that on it.
Right. Whatever Stadia price point is. And Stadia blew me away with their price point. Don't get it wrong. When they said their price point, I clicked. All right. So for all you frauds out there that didn't click, that didn't go and purchase Stadia, that's out here repping Stadia, talking about Stadia is the wave and the real still dominant. Yeah, and all this other crap that y'all was talking about. I actually went and pre-ordered my joint. Now, after I stopped with Bill Stillwell, and I got a chance to see what was really happening in these gaming streets, I canceled my joint while he was there. Like, nah, this is over. This is a done deal right here.
That was it.
So my thing is, the price point has to be in line with the lowest price point for the streaming system that's there. And the streaming system that went for the throat and the juggler that's gonna be out in a few is about to get that Stadia in a second.
Which
all right,
you get in November, right?
Yeah, and I want to see who really playing on it. All right, you're gonna post them receipts and not this lip service. You're gonna post these receipts. Oh man, they fighting crazy. What the hell?
Shout out to Def. You're right, Brad, but at least I can go into next gen knowing I'll still have money in the bank. Also, they announced XCOM 3, you can keep your Last of Us 2, etc. And who got Sammy? Who gonna do Sammy's one?
Sovereign. Come on, the host.
Sammy Prescott Jr. with the $5 super chat. A streaming only box, 0 cents. Who's the target? Is it going to compete with Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick, but also play games? If so, LTTP on that.
Wow. I mean, but I think King's got a point though, right? Because like maybe that target is the Stadia, like low price of entry, and maybe that's what they're using as a direct competitor. I mean, it's a possibility.
All right. This is for Sammy Prescott Jr., right? Sammy, I cannot state this enough. And I really want to be clear when I'm explaining this to you. That streaming box is for everyone that doesn't have a data cap.
Yep.
Okay. I played the Xcloud. I'm telling you. Like, and everybody's and what irritates me the most is people are saying, oh, I see input lag in the video. You are under some weird cloud. But me, when I touched it, I was rolling to the left, rolling to the right. Everything that I was doing it on purpose. Everything that you saw was I was trying to break it. I went in there with that mindset. I'm trying to destroy this. I want to expose them. Because think about it this way, right? If I go in there and expose Xcloud as a fraud, how many views you think that happens? Now, when I went in there trying to expose them as a fraud and I failed miserably, that's when people was laughing like, yo. And I'm telling them it's legit. Everybody here that was at E3, they can tell you we're not lying to you. This is
we can't. Now, look, in defense, it's controlled.
Bill Stillwell, and he Cog knows, man. We asked the hard questions. We're like, yo, what's up with this? How is this working? What's up? Like, we really went, and he answered every question, and the gameplay spoke for itself. Like, you really, again, the environment, it's semi-controlled, right.
We got to be clear.
I'm dead. I got to read this one. I'm dead.
Here we go.
Shout out to Brap, because this got to be Brap, because this is getting dagged all crazy. He said, Def Singer, you're right. You have money in the bank because you won't have any games to buy on Xbox, unlike PlayStation 5. Yo, that is probably one of the best clapbacks that I heard. Shout out to Brap for keeping the petty alive.
He's keeping the petty alive. He's made the power switch, baby. Shout out to Brap for signing that PlayStation.
We got to get one of those audio things, those soundboards.
Yes, absolutely. No, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but like I said, definitely control it. We still have to see it at home in the wild. But for us to play it wireless in a data center that's 400 miles away, and we're actively trying to break it, like King is telling you, I felt it was extremely impressive as a first showing. Time will tell as we get on, but we'll see what this box do.
You guys got to understand, like, Phil is not joking when he says he wants to reach 2 billion. Like, it's high, it sounds like hyperbole, right? But you have to understand that Microsoft, as Xbox, as a console, as an ecosystem, has had difficulty penetrating certain markets. And it's never going to happen. You're never going to have a thriving Xbox console market in Japan. That's not happening. You barely have a thriving PlayStation in Japan.
Switch out there moving now.
And moving, right?
Oh,
so how do you but it's the truth. And
he said, hey.
And why is it the portability, right?
I don't think so. I just think they like the homegrown hero. I don't care what nobody says.
PlayStation is Japanese.
No, but you know what it is? PlayStation is Japanese, but are they more Japanese than Nintendo?
Here we go with the fraudery.
No, I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you know for a fact, Nintendo was there first. Their feet is definitely cemented there.
With the Wii U, where they had a whack product, they got a great product, and the masses have grown.
Shout out for Sony for taking to be the accident champions that they are.
You're ridiculous. Shout out to Switch out there dominating Japan.
Yeah, I gotta give that up. I ain't gonna lie.
On this cloud OD console, like, it's not really for us though. It's for every.
No, I'm buying it.
Trying to touch again. It's not for us as our primary.
I got kids.
I feel you.
And
It's
you know what? When we go to
primary.
E3, guess who's taking they little stream box with them?
Sure. Especially if it improves latency or whatever in some way, I'll be getting it. But it's not really, the messaging is not for us. This is them trying to get everybody else.
They coming for you. They saying no Russians. They saying 2 billion is hyperbole. No Russians said those centers potentially could reach 2 billion. The service itself won't, because billions don't care about Xbox.
No, they don't.
Xbox, but they don't need. See, that's the thing though. When he says 2 billion, he's not talking about that console. That's for a select group of people who want a little box under there, whatever the case may be, right? He's talking about on your phone. So whether you want it or you don't, the ease of access to it is going to be there. And that's all they care about. The fact that you can access it anytime you want. And then all it takes is that little bit of a push. Like, let me see what this is. That's all they care about. That's all they care about.
Sovereign, this is where you're right at, right? Because I got to say this, right? What they're not understanding that you see this little Play Store here, right? They want you to hit the whatever Microsoft little app is instead of Google's app, and you hit that Play Store, and all those games that you download and you play, you stream. They want it to be streamed from your phone, your tablet, wherever, through Microsoft. That's what $2 billion comes in at.
Exactly.
Google doesn't care that I'm playing on an Android, whatever. They don't care. They just want me to engage.
Phil wants the mobile market, but the mobile market doesn't want Phil. Mobile doesn't pay for games. The slow-mo clapback. Half of that 2 billion playing free games on their iPhone while they wait at the doctor's office and taking the train to work. So there's definitely a debate with this mobile market.
What do you mean by it doesn't pay for games? I mean, I've seen plenty of.
What he's saying, like in the sense of if the rumor is true that they included in like a Game Pass Ultimate, will the mobile market pay for a subscription service to play console quality games like that $10 to $15? Like let me ask Petey, because Petey, like this is news. I wanted to get your opinion on. Like, what do you think they've got a shot?
It's on, son.
There we go. All right, shall I read this then, Petey?
Get Sammy first.
Sammy, I played it also. I was at E3. I came and said, "What's up to COG after the conference?" It's impressive. We aren't the target. Everyone else is. It has to compete against other set-top boxes. Salute Sammy Prescott. $10 super chat. Agreed. Continue now. So, Petey.
So you're asking me about the streaming server itself?
Will the mobile market pay for it if it's included with a
being a person that has, an hour and a half commute to work every day, being able to sit on my phone and playing, let's say, doing a strike or doing some type of instance or doing something on my phone would be fantastic. But the question is, we have to see what happens that first day, because like the first day of any big thing, you're going to have those slowdowns. So what's going to happen when all these things finally launch at the same time?
No, I get that part. I get that. I guess my question really more about the price of entry. Like, if are you willing to pay a $15 supposed? Again, we're just speculating. There's no official announcement.
Like a $15 sub or something like that. Listen, how many $15 subs are things that we have right now? I mean, come on. All most PC gamers right now that they want to play a game, they have a sub for. So it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, think about it. You have Netflix, which is a sub. I have Hulu, which is a sub. I have, all my anime stuff. That's a sub. So it's like, monthly subs are a thing of the now. So it's not that big a deal if you end up doing a sub now or if you for something like this or not. But if it's mobile, it's going to be worth it.
Allison Lane, they say, ain't nobody gonna run Destiny on their phone when they got a 55-inch 4K TV at home. I'll wait. Okay. And Tyler, that may be you, but the reality is there is gamers that will want that. And again, it may not be for us the hardcore. Again, King, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna give Talis this, right? Talis, you got your raid team together. You done sat in space for like 25, 30 minutes, right? You know how Destiny. Let's keep it a buck, right? How many times you're sitting there in space waiting for your team to get together? So you finally got your team together.
And that sick person never shows up, and you just don't do it.
You finally got to the boss, right? But I got to go pick my daughter up right now. So as we flying in, I'm on my phone. I pull over. I'm waiting for her to come out of school, and we finish that boss right there. So while we going up to the next spot, drive to the next spot, get there, and I can continue to play with you guys, finish our raid together while we're there, and I never left you guys. Like, is that seamless when you pick it up and you play and you get your game on? Because it's tethered to your box that's inside your house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm explaining to you that maybe it's not for you, but I don't know what type of phone you have. And I'm always assuming everybody has the phone I have, right? So you got the top of the line jump off. I got to go to the bank real quick. I'm at the bank, but these dudes got to do the nightfall. And if I don't get the nightfall done before 2 o'clock, I'm butt out. It's too many.
Crazy.
We got some bills to pay.
Yeah, we got some bills.
God, you got to get all those.
All right. Death Singer with the file. Yo, Brap. Sure, Sony has games, but Last of Us is over it. Wow. Gears of War was boring. Wow. God of War was boring. Witcher 3 is greater than Horizon Zero Dawn. When Sony's gonna make games for me, Xbox is giving me what I want. Now, who got JD Gamer?
I got him. Look, me and you, I got you, JD. It's Brad and us. It's me and you versus Brad. Okay.
Continue.
Right. I want Microsoft to be successcore, but the road to the casual gamers is through the hard. Oh yeah, Bill. Casual gamers is through the hardcore. They should have learned their lesson in 2013. Or in Marketing 101, take care of your first followers, the hardcore. I completely agree. You are 100% right, and Brap is 100% right.
I disagree with that statement.
Okay, this is the part where I'm going to have to agree with JD Gamer real quick, and we got another one. JD Gamer, the hardcore is definitely being looked after because you have the hardcore Anaconda box.
Okay.
Right, they're not leaving the hardcore. I'm trust and believe that box will be out first. That box comes out, people get that box, they're happy. Me and you got our smiles on our faces. We're posting our opening.
We're playing that Destiny 3 raid.
We gotta salute. Hold on, we gotta salute the Ash and Luca dropping some love for my brothers. All love, boys are fine. Skunkcast in the belt. I think we got the entire Skunkcast in here. Salute Luca, Lady Luca in the realm. That's what's up.
Yeah, yo, shout out. Listen, I just want to say, JD, you don't have to worry about the hardcore not being represented at this point in time because, to be honest with you, most of the heads of Microsoft, we had a debate, we talked behind the scenes, most of the heads of Microsoft are actually true gamers. So they represent the hardcore. So I don't ever see that leaving because then they will be like cutting off their arm. They wouldn't want that to leave.
Hold on, yo, and I gotta re-get this one. NYT Music, so out with the father, he said, yo, I had a coworker spend $1,000 on Clash of the Clan, a free game, free mobile game.
Couple friends
that's real
like $50-$60 every paycheck on that game.
They be buying if they into something. And again, it might not be us, right? Like we're saying, King, like we're saying, Saul.
Yeah.
This is a generator probably that doesn't translate to us, the hardcore gamer, but there's a huge generation that's playing Fortnite on their phone. That's playing.
The thing that a lot of people don't realize is this is the casual market. People don't buy games like that. Like they think that's normal, just pumping money into a game like that.
And the thing is, I think, don't get it twisted. I think some people may misunderstand what we're saying and thinking that we're talking about actual mobile games. Yeah, I'm sure at some point that's going to be part of their strategy. If you know, Xcloud on phones moves the way they want it to, I'm sure of that. But again, it's about extending the hardcore experience, right? It's about the hardcore and again, people who don't have access to that hardcore console to be able to access hardcore core experience.
Let me ask you guys a question because I have to leave here in a second. Do you guys think there's, you know, that huge narrative going that I see Brap, you know, he said, let me find that comment. That's not it. Mobile is free to play plus microtransactions. Do you think that just because it's free means that they can validate making it so free to play where you have to pay money to really play the game?
Listen, my wife is addicted to Harry Potter. Look at this. I will play that straight up. And there's a Harry Potter game out, and she constantly yells and complains that there's parts of it she cannot complete unless she pays for it. And I call that total and complete BS. If you're going to put out a free game, you should be able to complete everything for free. If you're required to pay for stuff, then you're garbage to me.
Yeah,
I remember there used to be some kind of Marvel Alliance game on Facebook. It was a Facebook game where it's like 3v3s. You can play you can play competitively, and they would give you the opportunity to buy the character up front, where you wouldn't have to do this side mission, and it's a long side mission, like 28 steps. And I remember the last one was always you had to have like weird characters I didn't have, so I'd always be like, the gold's going on that one. Like every time, the gold's going on that one.
So they're starting to do stuff like that in regular games too, because Division 2 just came out and they brought out their fourth specialization, and you can do like these 5 different specific things, and then in each of those 5 things, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. And one guy in my clan was like, "Dude, I'm just buying the free year because you know what? This is going to take me 4 or 5 hours. I don't want to do that." And then they just buy it.
Destiny now shift to the model, right? With the free to play basically with New Light. And then they can access the base game up to a certain amount of expansions, and then you pay a la carte for what you want. So in a sense, they are. But I want to get back to something that Brad said real quick.
I got to take off though.
Addict, later, bro.
Thanks for everyone coming through. The chat was lit. I appreciate the arguing. That was nice. But, thanks JD Gamer, Dead Singer. It was definitely appreciated.
Shout out to
Brap.
I was about to say shout out to Brap. But I'm Team JD. I gotta go.
No doubt. So like, like, what about the point Brad's making that he's saying like, we really can't compare that with the mobile market because those are basically free games but microtransactions, where most of the games so far for console is like the opposite kind of.
Well, I think that's not exclusive to that. They are the vast majority of things you're going to find on the Google Play Store or Apple Store is going to be that, right? And it's going to have some sort of free to play option, and then with microtransactions if you want to advance. But again, when we're talking mobile, we're not necessarily talking the mobile gaming market. We're not talking mobile games necessarily. Like I said, at some point, I think they do sort of try to address that, because if you're trying to bring people into your ecosystem, any way, shape, or form you want to do it, you're going to have to give people variety. Not everybody cares about a AAA experience on their phone. I would like to see what that is. Exactly.
But we got that already. I mean, when we was there, I played Halo.
No, we got that. Yeah, we got
that. I'm just saying, in the long term, when you think about what you want to do with Game Pass Ultimate, what you want to do with Xcloud, right? Maybe to bring people into your ecosystem is not trying to force the core games on everybody, because not everybody cares about the core games. And I know it's going to piss off the core gamer, because you'll be like, oh, you're not caring about us. Where's my single player experience, my 50-hour single player experience? Where is that? And that is a valid argument. We have yet to see any of that. We have yet to see the fruits of that. So we can't.
But
I see Brap's point. I see Brap's point, because we haven't seen it yet.
Right.
Hopefully we will see it. But I think, again, when you talk about, he's talking about these 2 billion gamers, yes, it sounds like hyperbole, but the plan is in place. And it requires all of those different types of games for it to actually happen. So
90 watching, please hit that like, y'all.
Yeah, but Sovereign, right? Okay. I hear what you're saying, but I already see the setup. Like, I know the Fastball special is coming, right? And when he says, all right, the first pillar to this thing to set everything up was we have to bite the bullet, and every first party game we put out is in Game Pass, right? So now you're talking about AAA titles that's going straight to Game Pass, day and date.
We transition into our Game Pass strategy, right? Like we're going into it now.
So at the same time, everybody was yelling out, because the naysayers was yelling out, oh, they don't have any studios, so who the hell wants the hamburger, fries, and shake? What Cognito says, right? With the Halo, the Forza, and the Gears. Who wants that? I want diversity. 15 studios. Now they're going to produce games. Those games are going to go to Game Pass. Now, this is the pillar where the cloud comes in. You got this cloud thing that's tied, and I'm pretty sure they're going to tie it to your Ultimate Game Pass, right? Because if they're trying to push this to the house, your Ultimate Game Pass is there tied to that. You download it, because I have Game Pass on my phone. So now I hit my app. I'm playing cloud games, whatever, through my phone, my AAA titles. The hardcore is being appreciated here. This stuff is bringing they like taking an arc.
Yeah.
And they're putting everything together. You just got to see the building blocks being built. I understand everybody wants stuff now. We're living in the now world. Right. You want stuff right now. You want Game Pass to be great right now. You want Microsoft to have these studios. You want to buy a studio and the game is tomorrow. I feel you guys. That's not how it works. Mm-hmm. So we have to see like the value in Game Pass. We have to see the value in the cloud. We have to see the value in the strategy. Strategy is not overnight. You don't topple a kingdom overnight, and they're trying to topple the best.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot. I'm seeing the chat. There's a lot of Game Pass negativity going on. They're saying it's a cop-out. They're saying it devalues Xbox games in general. Sava, what do you have to say? Because isn't this your topic in reference to Game Pass?
Well, that's the funny thing, because my topic is Eurogamer's article where they spoke to developers about what they thought about Game Pass, right? And how Game Pass either benefits or doesn't benefit the developer. And in general, they were talking about what they feel about subscription services, right? So as a gamer, right, we look at that and we say, look, Game Pass as a value, as somebody who's invested in the Xbox ecosystem as a value, you can't, there's not too much negative you can find with it. If you're not somebody who wants to buy every single game that comes out day and date, whether it be, third-party stuff, whether definitely first-party stuff, whether it be smaller, indie stuff, Game Pass is that. Game Pass gives you all that rolled into one. And now with Ultimate, okay, JD Gamer once again with the $2 super chat. Thank you. Make Xcloud part of Game Pass and Stadia is done.
That's what we've been hearing. We've been hearing stuff.
We've been saying that from the beginning. It would not make any sense to not just roll Xcloud into Game Pass without adding an additional cost into Game Pass Ultimate. I doubt it'll be base Game Pass, but Game Pass Ultimate definitely, right? So like I was saying, as gamers, there's not much negative that you can see there. Everything can always improve, right? And we can talk about what things we can see in Game Pass improving even more for the gamer. But for the developer, so the interview, they spoke to a couple of different developers. They spoke to the one of the guys who was the founder of Playdead. They spoke to a couple of other people, and they had differing views on what Game Pass is to them, A, and B, generally what they felt about the subscription model. And it's very interesting because, for instance, one of the guys who was one of the co-founders of Playdead, obviously they had Limbo, they had Inside, so they have a very close connection to Xbox and Microsoft. Right. And so his experience from the jump is that they were very much nurtured from the beginning. So he doesn't have much negative to say about it. And for him, as somebody who's coming out with an idea and a game that nobody had seen before, for him, and if you look at their games, they're very, their QA on those games are pretty insane. Like those games are pretty tightly, excellently made games. So for him, he stated like the walled garden of Microsoft and sort of that more stringent QA process and cert process was beneficial to his game. Like he really enjoys it. And of course, there wasn't any specific talk about what contracts they had, but the money was right for them, right? The money was right for them. Whatever that deal was, it was right for them. Now you have other developers who were talking about, well, my game is a game that people tend to play for thousands of hours, right? So it doesn't necessarily benefit me to get some money up front when somebody else, and they specifically used not Stadia, they used either like Gaikai or whatchamacallit, the old thing that the King and I used to play.
Online. Yo, when he said that, my eyes perked up straight up. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So the thing is, they specifically spoke about how OnLive offered them, and again, I forget the name of the developer, but they were talking about a game like these RTS, sort of like a Civ game or something like that people tend to play for hours and hours on end. Apparently, OnLive promised them money based on the amount of time people spent with their game. So obviously, that's beneficial to them because of how much time people spend with their game. Right. So it's very interesting that people have different views generally on what these subscription services can offer you. And on the dev side, I think if people are weary, unless you've been in bed with Microsoft from the jump and you really been been a beneficiary of what, you know, ID at Xbox is and what Game Pass has been from the very beginning, you have to really sit down and chop things up money-wise to see if it matters to you, because a lot of people's reservations are, okay, I sell my soul to the devil up front for $10 million that I may not get when my game hits the market, especially if I put it out on the PC market where it could get pirated. Right. Or, you know, so making it exclusive to the console sort of protects me a little bit. But what happens when I want to have control of how I talk to the people that play that game, and it's not on my platform, and I have to go through an intermediary, which would be Xbox and Game Pass, to sort of talk to my base. And then B, what happens in 3 years or 4 years when they've moved on to the next big thing? Am I going to get the same? What can I do if my game just sort of stuck in limbo?
Right.
So,
can I answer you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
What do you guys?
Now, this is where I feel that I can answer those questions if I was in, you know, head of Microsoft on getting you to sign up. You trying to sign up, right? Like, I'm talking to you as a developer, right? And you're asking me all these questions. You have all these fears. Well, when games are released in Game Pass, you get an alert on your phone and you get an alert on your Xbox. These are the games that came out new this week. And you can try these games out. Like I told you, I just tried Battle Chasers out, and I was so hyped for Battle Chasers before it got announced to come into Game Pass. And I was so elated that it did come out for Game Pass. Now that it's in Game Pass, the level of engagement, Microsoft can see what a game does while it's in Game Pass. Now, some games leave Game Pass while other new games come in. You won't always have the same exact game. So I believe after that period of time that your game is inside Game Pass, then you can do what your game with it as you choose. You can monetize it, sell it for cheaper. You can get it to it any way that you can. But I believe that the Game Pass gives you a marketing platform that you would not otherwise have had you been a developer who didn't have this avenue with this big machine behind you.
That is true.
That is, I mean, immediately. Once it's in Game Pass, real quick, just immediately once it's in Game Pass, you automatically millions of people have access to it.
Yes.
Right. So basically, I guess what I'm looking in the chat is a lot of people seem to be concerned about the back end, about what's really happening. So again, I guess we trying to talk about what the argument for putting it on. And King's point is saying, okay, if you're a smaller dev, or not even a small, if you're just a game that you want visibility and you want engagement, and the fact that you put it in this service that millions of people have access to for $1 or whatever it is, and now they're playing their game or they're in your online community, that immediately boosts your actual visibility, kind of what you're saying. So as opposed to, like, for example, like a Steam store, right? If you just sell your game to a regular online storefront, you're hoping that it would get on that front page, right? You're hoping
it'll pop. Yeah.
Whereas Game Pass is like, okay, boom, here's that possibility. Now we have seen instances, right, with like a State of Decay and a Sea of Thieves, that the minute it went in Game Pass, they actually went NPD, and that kind of blew us away at that point, because at the time people were thinking, hey, if it's in Game Pass, aren't the developer losing out because they're kind of giving it for free? And what we were told to believe, shout out to Matt Piscatella from MPD, it really is engagement. The fact that more people have access to it and more people are playing, the data shows it generates and drives. So shout out to Brad, he's actually saying my point right now. Yeah. He says, so far the data shows that Game Pass drives up player engagement, which has helped increase sales for those games. It also gives games longer legs from a sales perspective. So again, for those worried about the back end, they have data to support this. So this is not doom and gloom, taking these wild risks for games to put it on. You know what I mean? Now, some people, they may not think it's beneficial. Some devs may not think it's beneficial, may not want to do it, but the option is there. And from what we've seen so early, it's been beneficial for some of these devs.
When you would, like, State of Decay, when it went live, did you get access to everything?
Yeah.
Or did the
no restriction. The only thing I would say is, like, okay, if there was like a limited edition of a game, you're not getting the limited edition that had like the collector's edition.
Now in Ultimate, you are though.
But in Ultimate, now when you got Gears Ultimate, when that, you know, that big package, all that stuff is available. See, and I thought it was a hustle. Like, listen, let me tell you. In the beginning, I was like, oh man, they put the Forza in there, and it didn't have just if you had brought the special package. I was like, okay, so when they dropped the DLC for the joint, you can't have that. I see it now. I see the hustle. But then when they did this ultimate switch right now, that hustle's gone. Like, and I said, okay.
Right.
But for individuals, I want all you guys watching. We are all you're watching this podcast because you play games.
Right.
You see that arcade machine over there? We all play games. All right. So when somebody tells you, I'm going to give you 200 games for $15, I'm not saying that dollar crap because that dollar crap is not a real thing. It's not real. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. $15. I'm gonna give you 200 games a month. Now, you're not taking all those games when you leave. When we break up, I'm taking my stuff back. All right, you coming in the door with what you got. I'm taking it back if we break up.
The prenuptial agreement.
That's right. Exactly. So you upset, and I can see you guys upset. You upset because you don't get a chance to keep the cookies after you leave the relationship. Don't leave the relationship. Stay there. You know, it's cheaper to keep her. Stay your behind right there. Play your games. Be quiet.
Point real quick, that Game About Choice, man, I think it's an excellent point. He said, I've definitely bought games that were in Game Pass, so they have made sales based on my subscription. The point I'm trying to make is this. Think about this, right? We all know first-party Microsoft exclusives in there, right? The Halos, those are big games that normally you would pay $60 for, you know, because you love the franchise, whatever. And that's day and date in Game Pass. The thing people got to think about also is like the same title like that. Now you have a Below or Mutant Year Zero, a game that you may be interested in, but to yourself, you're like, I ain't paying $60.
Yeah, you can't afford it.
But now that it's in Game Pass and it's literally on the same level as these other games, that's what's getting people to engage in games that they may not have otherwise bought that for straight up cash. That's another reason. And again, the data supports it. Companies are not going to do something if it's not beneficial for them. That's just a fact. Like, they're not going to, if they're not making any money off it, they're not doing it. So again, for the people concerning about the back end, these guys have the numbers. They have, and again, we've had MP. I'm going to bring Matt back on the show, by the way. I'm going to have Piscatelli in it because we got it. A lot of people too worried about Microsoft pockets and the developers' pockets. These are statistical numbers that they have access and they are privy to, and they're seeing benefit from it. So we have to respect that aspect. Is that
like Jedi Fallen Order? There is no way you're going to see that in Game Pass. If you do, I'll be hella surprised.
Well, the reason you ain't gonna see that in Game Pass is the EA game and they have EA access.
Well, exactly. But it's true. But like those types of games that have those big backings, I don't think you're gonna see those.
I've been surprised with some of the big.
I mean, we just got Wolfenstein, and that came out how long ago?
This goes to the other point, right? Okay. What can we see? Obviously, Game Pass is a great value for the gamer. What do they need to do to continue to improve it? Especially when we've always talked about, hey, you don't have third-party stuff day and date.
Right.
You want
it's the Epic Game Store, Addict's favorite place to go. They're paying for this stuff, right? That's something they have to do.
I have a couple minutes before I have to take it back off. I just took a shower and got back on, but I think look, this for those of you that can't see because you can't see the chat on the right, I was like, let's talk about the cloud stuff last because I don't want to really talk about that. That's all Kings and them's lane. I don't care about it. I played it and I thought it was good, and I was a believer in that form. But I want to talk about this Game Pass because I honestly feel like the only thing that's stopping this from pushing it, once if Obsidian, Undead, if all of them start popping out decent quality games or good quality games, that's all it's going to take. Because people are going to get this service for $10 a month because they're going to buy more Microsoft games naturally because they're getting better. And all the third-party stuff and indie stuff thrown in from sprinkles is just going to be
points today, man. I got to jump in. I was just about to mention Metro Exodus. Another thing, again, third-party game, fantastic at launch, right? Now in Game Pass. Now think about it. That game technically is at the end of its cycle in as far as retail, so to speak.
And they're all in there too.
And it's like, boom. So now you've added this extra level of engagement.
And there's pretty much every Bethesda games in there almost.
That's a legit game. So again, another way that I can see devs using it is, again, through the normal NPD cycle. right? They after that month or 2 months, the game's at its peak, right? Now you're on the back end. Now the money's slowing up.
And they're like, let's give it to Microsoft for a bid check. Like,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people do. I mean, that's just part of extending that.
It extends the life cycle in a way that hasn't been seen before. Like
you know what's really missing to make Game Pass really take off?
Mm-hmm.
If they had a game that's on like the caliber that Overwatch got to. Like
you know, like an Apex,
like that. Well, yeah, something. No, not even Apex because that's free to play.
But you know like, what? You know what it is? It's going to be that bleeding edge.
Hopefully, like I really enjoy Bleeding Edge. I got some issues with some things, but you know, it is the beta or the alpha, whatever they want to call it. Mm-hmm. That's what's funny is Kid Smith was trying to get one, and I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, wait, King don't play alphas. They don't pay him. I was like, let me ask him if he wanted.
Yo, so he hits me up, right? And he goes, yo, what's up with that Bleeding Edge? You gonna play it? So I said, my book bag is up in the attic. Right,
so the exact words is like, have you downloaded it? He's like, no, you know I haven't. Like,
you know, I didn't do that. But that game, I think, and I was sitting there talking with Nina, and I didn't think that Microsoft showed it in its best light, right? And she was taken aback when I said that, but I was being honest because when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Right, and just like that, I was like, oh, okay, this is what they was talking about. And I knew it when I said it on the show. I said, oh, this is their little stepchild that they trying to get out there. They want the world to see it. Boom, 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 bang. Then I saw the game physically with my eyes actually playing. I saw the animation on the characters. I saw the level of detail on the characters. So when I see games like that of that nature, I think of Overwatch, and I think of all these cartoon type of games that give you a rich character with rich history and give you a little something that you can fall in love with the character and you can feel great about it. That's what Apex did for me. Now, the guns in Apex made it also greater.
That game's crazy.
When I played Bleeding Edge, it felt like Power Stone, and like she said, it's Power Stone on mega steroids, and it felt different, fun, fantastic. And I said Microsoft is on one, and I don't know why they didn't show it in this proper light, because the game looked light years ahead of what I saw on the screen. Playing it, when you guys get a chance to get it in Game Pass, that it launches in Game Pass, a game that you'll probably say, I'm not going to buy that, but it's in Game Pass. So go try that.
I've seen PlayStation guys who have an Xbox and they're trying games just because they're in Game Pass. And again,
Mutant Year Zero's in Game Pass. I highly suggest if you like XCOM, play that. It's coming on the Switch.
It was so good.
It's coming on the Switch at the end of the month.
I'm sorry.
This past week, I tried out Void Bastards and the Outer Wilds just because it was a game.
Oh, I hate that daggone game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, you know what I thought it was?
It's not a game for you. It's definitely
because there's no waypoints.
He thought it was the Outer Worlds.
Yes, I did. So when I saw it, I said, oh my god, it's in here. It's in here. So I said, oh,
King Loki was like, they messed up.
Yo, Addict. I was like, yo, let me download this right now before they take it off.
He said Void Bastards legit. He with that.
Void Bastards was
up.
Out of words
right now.
Crap. Throw it in the bush.
Out of Wild is boring though. He ain't like it.
It's in the straight
bushes. It's definitely not a King
game.
Was enjoying it. It's a slow plotting game.
It's a garbage game that needs to just get off of Game Pass. See, it's games like that that's in Game Pass that need to get up out of here. Get up out of there. Get up out of there.
So you have to love all your children equally.
I'm not loving that child.
Are we saying you in King's World right now?
That's right. That's King. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. I can guarantee you, it's 91 people right now. Go to your Game Pass, download that Outer Worlds. See me next week and tell them out of whatever the hell is garbage. Go and download because it's the only one in there with the outer name. Go there, download it, and then come back and tell me how you really feel.
But it ain't bothering you. It ain't bothering
on a serious note, man. There's 90 people in there, man. Give it a likes up, man. Do that for us.
But listen, at the end of the day, regardless of whether you booted it up.
Yeah. And I tried.
That's all they care about, bro. That's literally all they care about. And as long as
not every game is going to be
okay. Even if it's that 30 to 40%, I said, you know what?
You're soft, friend. I had to look at the Microsoft press conference again. I said, this is not the game that they said. I said, yo, this is a straight up blatant lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
You know what's funny?
So I was like, wait a minute, I don't really look.
The chick Miranda from IGN, she tweeted them and she was like, "Oh, I loved Outer Worlds," and I was straight up jealous because I thought it was that one. I was like, man, how they gonna let this chick play this like 3 or 4 months before it comes out? I was like, that's
It's a difference. It's Outer Worlds and it is Outer Wilds.
It's out of the bushes, and they need to get back in there.
so you're saying it's out of the bushes?
No, it's out of the bushes. It's out of the bushes onto your Game Pass, and we need to actively get together and throw it back in.
So are you saying that there's bushes at the bottom, but
double bushes.
if you're falling towards the bushes and you call Game Pass, you can avoid going into bushes?
Well, listen, that don't need to avoid it going. It need to get the double bushes. It need to get the bushes and the shrubs. It need to
Now
get.
there's 2 different types of bushes.
He said the bushes of this stuff. What else you got on this? What you call it?
I mean, basically, to close it out, I just really think the Game Pass, obviously, the value is there for the gamer, right? And I totally agree that the fact that what Addict said is really on point. As these first-party Xbox studios start getting their games out, hold up. Gamer by choice. Shout out with the $20 super chat. Thank you for a fun, intelligent discussion of gaming. I love gaming and I love this channel. I learn and laugh so much. Iron Lords are awesome. Keep up the great work. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. We really appreciate that. Yeah, you know, we get off on I know there's people in the chat that have said you guys laugh more than any other podcast I've ever seen. And that's what we do. We just crack up.
We do have fun.
We do have fun. So for me, it's just obviously Game Pass can always get better. Like what I said, at some point, maybe looking at third-party exclusives and trying to open that bag and see what happens there. But I think in the long term, when these Microsoft studios start getting their games out, we have a more of a release cadence.
I mean, you got to look at it. Obsidian's games coming out at the end of the year on Game Pass,
exactly. You have it's coming on Game Pass, but it is coming out for everybody else. So
right, but that's I don't want to negate that because
that has nothing to do with the service itself.
Exactly. Even if those multi-plat, right? For example, Outer World, right? We know that's coming to PlayStation.
It's most appealing on Game Pass.
The fact that it's in Game Pass, just for the fact that at that low entry point, what's more appealing to you financially as a gamer, right? Right. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. The last thing I want to jump in before I forget is that I definitely don't want to understate Ultimate, right? Because Ultimate is a tremendous package. Again,
and you get those hateful. I get to play it 4 days sooner if you have Ultimate. You get all the Ultimate.
I'm thinking about
PC
Snow.
aspect.
I'm thinking about Snow though. I'm like, he's PC master race, right?
Yep.
He gets Game Pass Ultimate. He's got the entire library. Microsoft does not care where he plays as long as he's in their ecosystem.
As long as he's in Game Pass, he does not care. They don't care. They don't care.
We played State of Decay together. Again, there's things that, again, people might not normally try from Xbox or buy on their own. But because of that service, the point of entry is so low, like, why would you not try it? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. And their whole thing is, if you try it, hey, he might end up liking it. And then look, games like Sea of Thieves making resurgences and stuff like it happens. They want engagement.
One of the biggest reasons I like Moonlighters is because someone was playing it on Game Pass and told me about it. Like, and shout out to John, big guy John. He is not he's not on the Game Pass way. He does not like Game Pass.
And on game. He said, but you don't get AAA multi-plats out.
No, it's not even that. I was like, look, man, there's what's funny is it's like we're surrounding him. All of our other friends, like my real life friends, like they know him. Like we're surrounding him and closing him. It was like Game Pass. And he's just like, look, if I want the game, I'll buy it. He's like, but you're not buying some of these games because you're not looking for them, but they just show up. And the beauty about Game Pass, I'll be playing the game like, what's that? I'm like, dude, I actually like it. It's on Game Pass. Like, you can't have that conversation on PlayStation. Like,
it's not even a PlayStation versus Xbox thing.
It's just a battle thing.
It's value. Like, the topic is the value of Game Pass. I don't know where you get a better value for your dollar outside of video games. It has to be something like Hulu. It has to be something like Netflix. You have to talk about streaming services of videos to even compete with this level of a service that they're giving you. Now, when you're going to sit there and tell me, oh, but third-party games aren't launched. Microsoft doesn't own the third-party games, so who's giving you first-party games for their price?
I think we're going to see a lot more. I think what we're seeing now in Game Pass is like the sprinkle Game Pass. I think that, you know, they're getting all their lines. They're figuring out how Game Pass they want it to function. And then when next gen starts, that's when you're going to see the Game Pass they envisioned.
Yeah,
right. Now,
I believe him.
Shout out to Big Hopper because he's making a point to counter. He's saying like Xbox exclusive game quality is all that matters at the end of the day. Game Pass, whatever, Xcloud, whatever, console power, whatever, quality AAA game of the year title. I agree with that. Now, here's the thing. I feel where you're going with that, Big Hopper. At the end of the day, kind of what Addict is saying, if it does get to that quality, right? If it does, as with the
we
next
don't even
generation,
need them all on Last of Us.
If it does, how tremendous even more would the value be? So again, you know, am I going to stop telling someone to pay for a service that they can get that low cost of entry when people out here struggling with jobs and financially to own stuff? I know people that say, yo, I wouldn't even bought an Xbox if it wasn't for that. I know people like, you know, Potentially Perfect. He was like, yo, I bought it because of Game Pass. He's like, that deal was too good to not do it. You know
Shout out to Meds, you know, sucks at Gears. He bought an X. He bought an X, and he don't buy games for the Xbox because he just gets Game Pass. Like, regardless what people want to come out here, you know, say this hashtag Xbox stench, like, Game Pass is the real thing. It really is. Like,
y'all. He's like, Gears of War 4 Ultimate for $100 when the base maps got all the maps. He said they ain't no damn first party games from Microsoft. They only got 10 exclusives in Game Pass.
Okay. What's funny is Microsoft owns more studios than Sony now. Like,
you know what? I feel and I like the crossover that you're doing right now because you're looking like Allen Iverson out here. And I'm gonna have to give the fraud light to you because you, my friend, were the one out here talking about Xbox this and Xbox that. You, my friend, actually out here with Aaron Greenberg getting systems and they treating you great. You, my friend, is at FanFest and all that. So this Sony switch up stuff that you doing right now, this crossover stuff. Listen, I love you, brother, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Game Pass is that real thing, and you know it. Stop playing. Now you're upset that they didn't show me what I wanted to see. But you're gonna get what you want soon. You're gonna be the same switch over crossover dude come in September when the Gears come out and you playing it for free.
All right, let me take care of this bill. Let me take care of this bill.
We got one more.
All this talk is great, but let's not forget that Sony has no security. Xcloud and Game Pass. Now I don't know. Maybe he ran out of characters, but I'm assuming he meant Phil Dominus. I'm assuming that.
He said, he said they betrayed me.
Do you agree with that?
And I'm gonna give you a hug. I'm gonna give you a hug, and this is a virtual hug, brother.
Do you agree with what Stitch just said there in that super chat?
Well, he just stated facts. I mean, if you really just look at it, what Stitch stated is the fact that Sony doesn't have any security. We all know is a free fall for your cash up over there. We know that, but
they got those old trucks that don't have a back to it and stuff just falls out all the time.
But you know what it is though. You see, what you're not understanding is Sony really doesn't want y'all to do the multiplayer thing. They're giving you a single player experience. They don't really want you to get on their internet because they know their security's bad. So they're giving you these single player games so you don't have to interact with the rest of the community. Stay over there in the corner with no internet and just be cool.
They're giving that single player experience so you don't discuss everything else about the stuff.
Exactly. So you don't got
you're not in those multiplayer games like talking about, you know what? This sound quality is horrible. Let's get on Discord.
You feel upset?
I know. Listen, and do you really feel upset? All right, catch you later. Did you feel upset when Forza Horizon was on Game Pass? Did you feel upset? Are you gonna feel upset when Gears come out and it's on your Game Pass? Are you gonna feel upset when the exclusive titles come out and it's on Game Pass? Did you feel upset when what was that that Blade game from these guys from Ninja Theory, Hellblade? Was you upset when that came out in Game Pass? I mean, I really want to understand why you're truly upset with somebody that's actively begging for your love. Now you talking about the other dudes that's over there with the no security that say, hey, come over here. And they don't really care about you at all. They're not giving you anything, but you're saying, oh, but they got good games. Okay, so buy both. You're a gamer, buy both.
There you go. That's gamer talk. Anyway, that's all we got. That's it.
What we got on this, man. I think at the end of the day, I think Microsoft is going to keep improving Game Pass for gamers, and I think they're going to keep improving the reasons why devs should come to that platform. I just think it's smart on their part, and I think they're real cognizant of what they have to do to make that the place to go. So I see it improving on both ends of the spectrum, and that's what we got. That's what we got today. ILP 116. Big shout out to the chat. You guys were beyond lit today. You guys killed it.
Shout out to y'all for your super pettiness. It was incredible.
Pettiness was fantastic.
No doubt. Shout out to Bonds, the grounded game up in there. No doubt. You already know.
No doubt. And of course, big shout out to Pete, aka Lord Snaldo, for joining us. We sandwiched them in there sometimes.
Oh no, there go Chris right now. Chris, you want to show up now at the end of the joint?
Oh
yeah, Chris. I knew you wasn't gonna be here because your PlayStation got hacked. That's why you wasn't here. You trying to figure out who brought the daggone Lamborghini with your check.
Chris missed all this smoke earlier. Oh, man, I was waiting for he reps Sony. Oh, I like Chris. He's like, my bad.
Yeah, my bad. Nothing. You out there trying to figure out where that Lamborghini at?
Wow.
So let us know what's going on, man. Let us know what you're doing. What's coming up.
What's happening?
Yeah, he said, y'all my guys. I had to come red. No doubt.
We appreciate that. So nothing much. Got a couple of videos coming up for ILP first looks if you guys want to check that out. We got another one. JD, you want to take care of that?
Wow.
JD Gamer again with the final super chat. Real question for the panel is, can Microsoft improve their marketing and their word? That's real talk.
They have to. They have to. And especially if they're launching this online only console, they have to make sure that message is out there, that people don't get confused, and they need to fix that.
All right, JD, I gotta be real with you, JD. All right, I'm compromised here. JD,
I've been bought off.
I've been purchased. I've been sold. So JD, I can't really answer that question because me answering that question will undermine my my new control system. So I'm gonna let the other guys in the panel answer that, and I'm gonna say Microsoft is doing a bang up job in their marketing department.
Continue.
Wow.
So Lord Pete.
Everything. And on Twitch 5 nights a week, Monday to Friday, 7 to 10 Eastern. And mostly the Division stuff, and and Discord. If you guys hit up on Discord, that's fantastic. If anyone is thinking about joining the stream team, or is looking or knows somebody that is a streamer that would like to join up, just have them send me a DM in Discord, and we'll review that application, and then we will go forward with that.
No doubt.
One other thing, just give a brief little quick overview of that Gleam IO giveaway that's coming up.
Yes, the Gleam IO giveaway is concluding midnight next Saturday. So everyone, make sure you get in on those. After that, your tickets will be reviewed, and then after that, the next ILP Sunday around this time, you will know who won that Marvel Universe 3 giveaway for the Switch. So yeah,
NTSC only. Gotta clarify that. No doubt. Thanks a lot, Lord Pete, for coming through. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks you guys for having me on.
Down. So of course, let's go, Lord King. What do we have? I know we have some statue stuff coming. What's good?
All right, so we got stuff. I got a bunch of statues out here. And I'm gonna give you the new statue now. If you watched the last video, I told you that the next statue is gonna be somebody that is hard to kill. And I had people hitting my inbox up like, "Who you talking about? You talking about this dude? Are you talking about?" None of y'all got it right. So when you see it, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, that was fantastic." Also, Arcade Talk. That's Arcade with the King of the Arcade, that's coming. As you can see, that system right there has over 6,900 games. And shout out to LordCognito for getting me my capture device, so I'm able to implement that. So I'm playing around, I'm looking with it, and I'm trying to learn certain things and techniques. The format will change with King of the Statues, and Combat Talk with the King is coming up. You have Pacquiao versus Thurman. You don't want to miss it. Now, what I'm gonna do is something a little bit different with this right here, because this is a mega fight. This is something that you didn't think was gonna happen. You didn't think Pacquiao will get in there with that young lion, and you didn't think that young lion would take that challenge, because we can say that they wasn't on a collision course, but it happened. So I'm going to give you a fighter breakdown on Pacquiao, just an all Pacquiao edition. Then I'm going to give you a fighter breakdown and a synopsis on Keith Thurman. So you can get the background of these fighters, and you can understand what they're up against and what they're trying to achieve and what's next for these fighters. And then I'm going to give you the breakdown of the fight when the fight is about to happen after the weigh-in, guys.
Nice.
All right, so we out here.
Oh, no doubt. So go back to the boss, LordCognito. What's going on? Look, after I was forcibly coerced into hosting.
So I'm hosting. I'm chilling. I like this guest though. I can just say
Laying back, out drinking.
Like I do. Nah, salute, so I'm holding that. Yo, salute. Yeah, I missed this, man. 1 week feels crazy being off.
I know, right? 2 weeks for me, man. It just felt weird.
Feels good to be back. Absolute fun in the realm. Always showing love. PD holding it down. You already know. Stream tune. Shout out to Dizzy, LordsGaming.net. We got some stuff coming up, and check out more Guardian Con coverage. I'm going to be putting up. We got tons of stuff. Trying to give. I'm gonna call it like the Walk With Me series, King.
Yo,
shout out.
I want these guys to really understand. I want you to understand something real quick. This stuff is coming out of our pockets.
Facts.
Like, this man just got back from spending some G's going to California, and he just spent some more going out to Guardian Con. For the love of this game right now is really nuts. And I'm looking at the views on the video, and I don't see nobody at Guardian Con, all right, posting videos. So he's posting these videos. Give it a look. Even if you don't like Destiny, like he told you, it is other games there. So please give it a look. Leave a comment down at the bottom, because we definitely answer your questions. And I have a bunch of questions for him anyway off here, because this is the first time I get a chance to talk to him.
Much love, King. Yeah, man. I mean, just for the love. You know what I'm saying? As a gamer, you know me. I do my pilgrimages. You know what I'm saying? I do my little travels. But nah, this is something I've been following a long time. They growing. We got something else that all the lords, including Sonaldo, got cooking up that we're gonna do for y'all in the realm. And I can't wait to show y'all that. And that's something that we think is gonna potentially grow into something special. We can't talk about that just yet. Yeah. But when it happened in about a month, we will disclose that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thanks, King. That really meant a lot, because it's fun. It's fun to go out there. Yes, it's
man,
not cheap.
When I saw you and Ibonta sitting in the chair, then I looked at the sky behind me,
pool in the background, like
one big
arms the size of your head.
You like the chalices? We had the chalices with the
I showed the picture to my wife. I was like, "Hon, look at this," and she's like, "God, what are they doing?"
Yeah, and me and Sonaldo, we had packs in the Bang Bang Boogie Airbnb. You're like, wow, like nobody said there was a level of amenities that was being contributed to the situation.
Know me. I gotta bring people to the water so they could drink, so they can see. You gotta show them that the water is nice out here. Man. Then they will come. You know what I'm saying?
Some late night activities. Like, you're not telling all the stuff, man.
Yo, it's bad fun. Yo, shout out to so many people. Like, again, like, you gotta understand, it's like picture being in like Paradise Island, bro. Like, it's like gamer.
You.
We got invited, man. Got invited. It's up. Tickets are going to be up now. The only thing is next year is a little tight next to E3 though. See, I liked it this year because they had like a little space, July 4th weekend, and then E3 is June. Next year, they making it bigger. They're going to have bigger gamer entities, but it's like 2 weeks after E3. So yes,
no
way. I already know exactly. So I think it'll be me and Addict probably on that one. But
I don't see Addict going, so you can stop.
Yeah, it might be me again. We'll see.
You,
it might be me. That's my thing. Shout out to Ibonta that came through. That's my brother.
I had to get you a body cam. That's what I'm gonna put it right there. You're gonna put on your
Put it on his forehead, like you know. Like,
you know, he ain't gonna put nothing on his head. So you gotta put it on his pec because he just finished working out. He just finished bench pressing. So you gotta put it on his pectoralis.
Yo, mad fun. You're gonna see a lot of footage coming up, stuff like that. And like I said, be on the lookout. We're gonna have another special last word this Friday, talking some more talk. We're gonna have big guests. I cannot wait. And on ILP next week, we're gonna have a developer. I don't want to disclose yet. We're trying to finalize the details. It may be a special time. I'll get back to you guys on that. But an up and coming developer, all I will say, it was on the Microsoft stage, and it's a great story. So I will get back to you guys once we finalized. And that's all I got, man. Soft, thank you for holding it down. Brother King, thank you for holding it down. Addict, Stoneball, the crew. You already know. Much love.
Yeah, man. So for me, of course, Lord Sovereign, the offline profile Illuminati who lives for the single player selfish experience. The Hostradamus. I like that. I can rock with that. Though I hate hosting, but I can rock with that. Well, you guys can catch me on Twitter at LordSovILP and BX Sovereign on PSN and Xbox Live. Real quick, one thing that I didn't mention that I was playing that nobody talked about. Yo, that Samurai Showdown.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, King, when I tell you they brought back the love.
They
No. That was some, you know, the PS4 Pro, whatever. The input lag. The input lag is fixed.
When it got to the Xbox, it fixed up.
All I know is the version I played, the input lag is fantastic. It's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
They brought back that old school love. So I'll talk a little bit more about Samurai Showdown next week. But again, big shout out to the chat. Big shout out to everybody. Big shout out to Cog for having faith in me and holding us down.
I didn't have faith in Addict last week, so boom.
I told them we need a Patreon tier just for him and Addict just to do that. I don't want to have it.
I said to him, that's the day that the ILP is over, because you're gonna let it can't even be associated with ILP. It gotta be some like
after dark. Patreon after dark.
Bearded brothers in the night. Some weirdo stuff, man.
Coming through.
So that's all we got. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Once again, thanks a lot for coming through. Peace.